What's going on? What's good in the hood? What's up, everybody? Sweaty, what's going on? Tina, Krim, Caton, Neverland, Pam, Carol, Nayland, Cheryl Jr., Lauren B., Tammy Price, Cowboy, Unpaid Resistance, City Girl, CW Thinks, Deborah, Hope Marie, Damn the Man, Nugbug, Allison, Leanne, Shelby, Alicia, Metal Ivy, DL Wood 9790, Misty, Dory. Oh shit. Emily's Blunt. What's going on? Pam Carroll, Summer Shade, Brown Eyed, Not That Dana, Tracy, Sheffy with the $5 super chat. Let's fucking go. Kicking it off this evening. Thank you, Sheffy. Ivy, Joe, Rains, Carly. What's going on, everybody? Emily. What's up, everybody? Everybody in here, hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. Appreciate hitting that thumbs up button. Let's see something really quick here. What did I do here? Oh, I guess I'll just use my phone for that. That's the best thing for me to do, right? Yeah. Emily's Blunt, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sorry, I got to put out notification here. Nope, I appreciate the support. Support is always good. If you guys do enjoy the live, I would appreciate always supporting. If you do enjoy the content, the dedication to the content, all the stuff I do, I would appreciate supporting. DL Wood with the Canadian $2.79. Appreciate you, DL Wood. Appreciate you so much, dude. The fuck? Why is that live not? Oh, there we go. Okay, all right. Let's see what that does. Leanne, thank you for the $1.99. And Drew, appreciate you, Drew. Thank you so much, Drew. I literally just signed on. Just a moment ago, I signed on. If you are a Trump supporter and you're watching and you still support Donald Trump, you're welcome to call in. You're welcome to call in. We're kind of just awaiting troop deployment here. The White House has left that door open. We're kind of waiting for that to happen. Apparently there was a Michigan, apparently the Michigan synagogue attack that happened was, according to the FBI, was Hezbollah inspired. According to the FBI, that recently came in. The press secretary said the United States will follow the law after Trump threatened to obliterate energy plants. That's also news. But other than that, we're kind of waiting for the beginning of the end, which is going to be a announcement that we've put boots on the ground. It's kind of what we're waiting for. Listen, Trump supporters, I'm not interested in you yapping in the chat tonight. All right? You're going to have to call in if you have something to say. No crying, okay? Like this guy, Tom35, okay? Tom35, bro. Tom35. Tom, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. And listen, like, there's plenty of subject matter there, as your hero says. Just call in, Tom, 908-652-3703. Tell me why you like Trump, and I'd love to hear it, Tom. I'm going to be nice, Tom. I'm not going to say anything. I clicked your profile. Lols. But I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to say anything to you, Tom. All right? I'm going to give you a chance to call in and show that you have a backbone. To show us you have a backbone, Tom. That's all we're looking for. Show us that you have the courage to call in and say, look, this is Tom and I support Trump. Because, look, I understand that it is embarrassing to support Trump right now. I understand that you guys were fooled. I understand that you were tricked. And I understand that's incredibly embarrassing. But it's not my problem. I didn't do it to you. I told you not to vote for him. You did it anyway. So now we're here. We're here because of you troglodytes. You troglodytes have put us in a position of pain. The country's back is against the wall, and quite literally, not sure if I'm going to wake up to news of World War III. And that's not an exaggeration. That's how bad things have gotten. But do you think Tom's going to volunteer to go out and fight for this country? No.
Call from
Tom, listen, glad you called in. I didn't want to, there's plenty of subject matter there, so I didn't want to go in on you. Brighton, by the way, thank you for the $2 super chat. City Girl Scandals, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you so much. Tom, do you support the war in Iran?
Listen, Iran has been shafting everybody since forever. They are basically working for China and working for Russia. And please tell me you have enough common sense to know that Russia and China is not on our side, or North Korea. They are the middle people for Russia and China because they get the oil from Russia and China Russia and China get the oil from them for very cheap because they're giving them military support, which, as you will see, the military support was not very good. Other than the drones and the missiles that China and Russia paid for. Yeah, I support the war because they maimed our guys, our people, Americans that you probably don't like. And, I don't know. Do you like America? Do you like America?
Of course, Tom.
Okay. Well, then you ask me. Now, one second, please. You asked me, did I support Iran? Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I don't want you to correct me. I'll correct you. Iran has been, like I said, Iran. Iran. They have basically been giving. They're middlemen, like I said. They're a middle country to Russia and China. Russia and China use them. Listen, China has used America forever ago, and they do it from the Democrats. The Democrats basically walk all over us. I mean, here's the problem. My Aunt Sandy told me one time ago, my sister still votes Democrat. My Aunt Sandy says, Tom, she hasn't matured. And my Aunt Sandy made the perfect sense. We was all Democrats growing up. Come on, man. From school. The majority of everybody was a Democrat growing up from school because that's what schools teach you. Then as you grow up and you get a job and you start understanding and start seeing things, at that point in time, you either mature or you stay blind. And Iran is not our friend. They holler, death to America, death to Israel. Now, it ain't even about Israel. Well, sure, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Tom, something for you to understand. There's no legal basis in oil. What you're claiming is oil. U.S. law, okay, do laws matter to you? Like the Constitution?
Well, that's funny you mention that. That's funny you mention that. Yes, they do, and the Democrats basically don't care about the laws. They walked all over our president with lies and lies and lies and lies. Give you an example. The stuff they charged him for was never even proven that they were even. Come on, man.
Which case?
Look at the borders. Open borders. Listen, that is treason towards our country. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm calm. Go ahead.
Calm down.
Go ahead.
One thing at a time.
I'm calm.
So you said the things.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I just wanted to establish that you understand, right, that there's no legal basis for the war. U.S. law requires what's called... Tom?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
U.S. law requires what's called imminent threat or congressional power. You know what a war powers resolution is? Oil interest alone would be considered an illegal war. So you saying that actually concedes that it's illegal, right?
No.
They're claiming their main reason is that Iran has or is close to producing a nuclear weapon, right? By developing what's called weapons grade enriched uranium. I just want to address something really quick, Tom. You said Democrats or Demorats, as you put it, are liars, right? Because they indicted Trump on these criminal charges. Can you tell me which case was a lie out of those 4 criminal cases? There was a case in New York on a state level. There was 2 federal cases, which was obstruction of justice and classified willful retention of classified documents, and conspiracy to defraud the United States. And then there was a case in Georgia, Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act. Which case specifically was a lie? Well, they were all lies. And it's the truth, bud. No, they weren't. He was convicted in New York. No, Tom. He was not. He was convicted by a Democrat. New York, if you do your math, New York is nothing but Okay, we'll go with Democrats. New York is basically a Democrat. Listen to me. Don't talk to me like that, please. I'm going to stop saying it. Listen to me. I'm going to stop saying it on my own. Listen to me. I'm going to stop saying it on my own. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Did you say you sleep alone? I don't need to know that. No, where are you coming up? I said I'll stop on my own. Oh, all right. I knew you slept alone anyway, so you didn't need to tell me. Listen, no, I have a wife, sir. I have a wife. I am not. I'm transgender. I'm not gay. I'm sorry. Listen to me. I'm sorry. I just wanted to. Can I please explain? Okay, what's all right, go ahead. Well, let me explain. New York is a Democrat state. Now, here's the problem. You asked me about the law, okay? I don't know where you get your news from, but the facts are they are a Democrat state, and if you could take a Democrat, and they will sell their soul to the devil before they will basically tell you that it's true or not true. I mean, just for instance, they Comey. They have evidence from Comey that he did crime after crime after crime after crime, and they indicted Comey. Well, the judge refused to allow that to happen. I mean, come on, man. You talk about the law. The judge refused what to happen in what case? There's judges after judge. I don't know what. I mean, listen to me, bud. I don't know what show you're living under. The judges are coming out and saying our attorney general has indicted Comey. Well, the judges... Tom, we're talking about a case Trump was indicted on. Okay. There we go again. Those have all been proven lies. No, they haven't. Tom. Come on. Was Trump? Yes, they have. All right, Tom. Before we move back just to the Iran war really quick, I just want to ask you one thing for the chat. Tom, was Donald Trump convicted in that New York case? It was never... They never... I don't know who convicted. He was never ever convicted. He was convicted. The charges, Tom. Well, listen to me. He was convicted. Okay, he was convicted. Convicted. Then why is he in prison? Because he received what's called an unconditional discharge during his sentencing phase. Okay. How's he president? Because there is no constitutional requirement that you have a clean criminal record. Listen to me. Tell me where you think Trump is a bad guy. I mean, if you can do that. Sure, let's just start with current events, right? So the war in Iran you claimed was about oil. Well, oil... No, I did not. No, I did not claim that. No, I did not claim that. You asked me about Iran. No, that's not what I claimed. Well, the reason why they went into Iran was they keep hollering "Death America," and Obama allowed them to produce a nuclear bomb. He gave them permission. It is true. No. Okay. Well, I can't. Listen. This is your site. If you want. I'll explain it
No,
to you if you'd like to
no,
learn.
no,
Do you know what the
I don't listen.
JCPOA is?
I don't listen to me. He gave them cash. He gave them tons of cash.
Do you want to know the facts about they do not
no,
have a nuclear
not
weapon?
sure.
Tom, what's Operation Midnight Hammer that was conducted in June? If they have a nuclear weapon, what was Operation Midnight Hammer that was conducted in June?
That was just listen. Iran is dangerous, dude.
I asked you a question, Tom. What is Operation Midnight Hammer that was conducted in June? If they have
that
a
was to
nuclear
help.
weapon.
They was to help slow the nuclear stuff down. They admitted they had enough.
No, it
listen,
wasn't
come on,
to
man.
slow anything down,
yes, it
Tom.
was. What was it? Okay, what was it then?
All right, Tom, listen. This is just a back and we're just having a conversation, right? Two
I
bros.
said, what was it?
One that doesn't sleep alone and one that does. You're the one that sleeps alone.
There you go. Listen, there you go with your lies.
Tom, I was
I
talking
told
to
you I'm
my
married.
friend. Tom, I was
there
talking
you go
to the
with
guy.
your lies again.
Tom, I was talking to my friend, not you. I was talking to this guy next to me.
You're lying. You're lying.
Not lying.
That's what Democrats do.
I'm not lying. Tom,
I told you I was married.
Tom, let me explain something. So
go ahead,
in June, we conducted what's called Operation Midnight Hammer in cooperation with Israel, dropping bunker busters on their enrichment facilities. Donald Trump claimed that was the most successful operation we've ever conducted in cooperation with Israel. It was?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if it's the most successful operation we ever had done in cooperation with Israel, then how could they possibly be in possession of a nuclear weapon?
Well, because they didn't stop. They continued on.
So you think they rebuilt their enrichment facilities and developed weapons-grade enriched uranium from June until now?
Yes. Well,
Tom,
they admitted it. Well, no,
they didn't.
They admitted it.
No, they didn't.
They did. I don't know where you get your news from, guy.
Tom, no, they didn't.
Okay, well, go ahead.
They do not have a nuclear weapon, Tom. Tom, do you
realize?
Oh,
they don't, huh?
Tom,
no, they have enough bombs to build it up, and they said.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Tom, do you know they don't even have the missile technology to reach the United States? Even if they had weapons-grade enriched uranium, do you know they wouldn't even be able to? They can only reach Europe. They can't even reach the United States. So regardless, Tom, saying death to America is not what an imminent threat. What does the word imminent mean? What does the word imminent mean?
That means they said under the last time
imminent, not imminent. What is imminent?
Well,
mean?
whatever, dude. They said the last time that they had enough material to build 11 bombs. I think it was.
What does the word imminent mean, Tom?
Listen to me. Did you hear that they had the last?
Tom, what does the word imminent mean?
That means they're a threat to us, dude. That means they're a threat to us, okay?
Imminent means happening now, Tom. So it means that you're pointing missiles in the direction of the United States, like the Cuban Missile Crisis,
to me, man. Let me ask you something.
Tom, you're not willing. Tom, you know your unwillingness to learn is why you're here today.
Well, I'm not going to learn from you, man. You asked me to call in and tell you why my president's a good president.
You would learn from me if you shut your mouth long enough to listen.
No, that would never happen. Never happen. Listen, I tried learning to you from school, and you guys lied to me. And you told me that you guys lie. You Democrats lie. You guys are immature. All you do is lie. Let me ask you something. Why do you think Iran. Okay, you want to talk about, oh my God, Obama and Biden both committed treason to our country. Now, tell me how they didn't commit. They let people on our border that they made us unsafe. Listen to me. Come on, man. You're not stupid. You may be book smart. You may be smart as putting people down and try to act like you're the Mr. Genius. But tell me where we're not safe. Well, tell me we're opening up our border to allow people, criminals who've been proven to kill people, who've been proven to walk all over us. You tell me how we're safe by opening up our borders. Now, who did that?
Sure.
Obama did it, and Biden did it.
So first of all,
go ahead.
Do you know what treason is?
Treason is when you turn your back on. I know what treason is. Do you know what treason is? Treason is when you make us unsafe, dude.
Yes, I do know what treason is. Do you?
Well, what is it?
It is essentially.
Yes, I told you. Treason is when you make your country unsafe. When you betray your country. Yes, that is treason.
No, it isn't.
Not in your, but it is.
No, it's when you levy war against the United States. When you aid.
Oh, come on, man! No.
Okay, so can you tell me really quick what policy specifically was passed under the Biden administration that opened the border?
Oh, come on, my God.
Because Biden deported over 1.5 million people. So I'm just wondering.
Come on. Don't.
No, I'm just wondering.
Obama did, you mean? About Biden, Obama.
No,
Biden didn't deport nobody.
1.5 million plus. More than Trump.
Come on, man.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you know why? Because they won't.
More people than Trump.
Oh, stop, man.
So I'm asking
because they won't let.
What
stop.
specifically?
Oh my God, dude! You need to stop, man. They won't let Trump deport nobody. That guy who's here, they proved that he was. They proved that he was transporting. He was doing what was it called? He was
the hula, the YMCA.
No. The one guy, the most he was from Venezuela, I think it was
Maduro.
He was that guy. They have made a circus out of this guy, man. Come on, stop. I can't even believe I'm wasting my time talking to you, man.
Tom, you're not wasting your time.
Tom, what?
Tom, would you want me to call you Mott Tom backwards?
See, there you go again, man, with your stupid mouth.
Well, Tom, you're not listening.
And I spell it right. I just abbreviate the.
You wouldn't say that to my face, Tom.
Oh, yes, I would, buddy.
Oh, no,
yes, I would. I promise you that. Yes, I would. Oh, come on.
Right, Tom,
come on, stupid ass.
Tom.
How stupid are you,
Tom,
man?
give me an example of someone committing treason. Do you know who, Benedict Arnold is?
Oh, my God. Will you get off of it, man?
I'm giving you an example of what treason is. Do you know who Benedict
Arnold is? No, you're not.
Because you don't know
I don't care.
Know what treason is. Stop accusing Biden of committing treason.
You need to. Oh my God! No, Biden committed treason and Obama. No, you.
Do you know what treason is?
How tiny is your brain, guy? Are you that stupid? Are you really that stupid?
Tom,
he made our country unsafe. They let people in our country that was not vetted, who are criminals. Are you that stupid?
So
really?
Is Donald? You just said they are criminals. Your president is a criminal. Have you read?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
I can't even believe I'm wasting my time with your stupid ass,
man.
Have
you read the Epstein files, Tom?
Oh my God, you are lost your fucking mind, dude.
Have you read the Epstein files, Tom?
You mean the ones that Biden and Obama buried?
They're not in them, Tom.
Oh my God, you lost your mind, dude. Tom, my. How about Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
How about Bill Clinton?
Throw him in prison.
Huh?
Throw him in prison.
Yeah, throw him in prison. Yeah.
Alongside Trump.
Oh yeah, whatever, dude.
Oh yeah, wake up,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wake up, yeah.
You have a tiny brain. You have a tiny brain. You got a tiny brain. You are so weird, dude. You are so weird.
Cabs are here.
You are so weird. You are strange, dude.
You're not listening, Tom.
You're fucking weird, man.
You're not listening.
No, you are weird.
Tom, this is why you sleep alone.
My wife said I'm just giving your tiny brain
This is why you sleep alone,
promotion.
Tom. This is why you sleep alone.
See, he's still on that sleep alone stuff. That's what you never asked to do. You lie. You're fucking nasty.
You won't let me speak, Tom. You didn't let me speak. Tom, just, once I discovered they're just not going to let me speak, I'm just, what's the point in even engaging in good faith? I tried, but Tom, you got to let other people speak, Tom. So just to clarify a couple things Tom said. Number one, Donald Trump did break the law, and if Tom actually let me speak and we went through those criminal cases, Tom would get dog walked because Donald Trump did break the law. Okay, he was convicted in falsifying business records tied campaign finance violations. That was the case in New York. He would have been convicted for obstruction of justice mainly, which is what that documents indictment was made up, but also willful retention of classified documents. The third criminal indictment, fake elector scheme, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and the RICO indictment in Georgia. He would have been convicted on all of these cases. In fact, the federal criminal cases were the strongest, and he was already convicted on a state case. So Donald Trump would have absolutely been convicted. But furthermore, okay, Biden committing treason is insane, okay, is absolutely insane. I don't know what policy he's talking about that opened the border specifically, but it's just not true. It's just not true. There is no treason. I think Tom has been indoctrinated, folks. Listen, Tom grew up loving Trump, clearly. Tom loves Trump. I think Tom looks up to Trump. But Tom, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, you support a PED. Tom, you got to listen. You got to listen to people. You know what I mean? And this is why Tom crashed out, because he doesn't really want to have a conversation. He doesn't want to have a conversation. Lola says aloha from Hawaii. Lola, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Would appreciate contributing to the gifting goal. Kayla, what's going on? No, Tom clearly didn't pay attention in school or any other place for that matter. Magnetic Man. Send me a message on Insta. I'll check it out. I will check it out. No way Tom is married. I don't know if he is or not, but I still think regardless of whether or not he's married, he sleeps alone. Can you imagine being married to that guy? Can you imagine being married to that guy? Can you honestly imagine? Can you imagine waking up every day and having a disagreement with that guy? Jeez, that wouldn't be pretty.
Sheffy.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, my brother, what is up? I will not make this very long tonight, but I had to call and say that I'm good Lord. I'm alive and well, and it went down just like you said. My nurse was hot. It's a good day. I
got another call coming in. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Later, bro. Take
you
care.
Go, man.
Best of luck in your recovery, dude.
Thanks.
Call from
Eric.
Sorry, I got a random call here coming at the same time. Eric, are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay. Do you support the war in Iran?
I think we have to do something to take out their nuclear capabilities and their long-range missiles.
Can you tell me what Operation Midnight Hammer was?
I think they nuked the facilities where they were enriching uranium.
They did what?
Or I should have said drop the bunker busters, not nuke.
Those are two very different things, my friend. Listen, it's getting more concerning how you guys throw out that word nuke. I mean, Jesus Christ. Do you know what a nuke is, my guy?
Yeah, it's uranium enriched to, I think, 235 or 238.
Yeah, so, well, I think it's less than that. But anyway, regardless, it's not something that you would drop on an enrichment facility. It's just scary. Listen, we don't drop nukes, right? Holy fuck.
Except for in Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Well, you can blame the United States government for that. But what was the success of that operation?
It sent them back a few months, but it didn't do enough, so we had to go in with.
Can you tell me how you know it sent them back only a few months?
They're developing new technology where they can turn uranium gas and shoot it with new lasers to enrich it quicker. So
you have no idea how you have no idea how they do it, because neither does the United States government, because we don't have access right now. So good try. I'm trying to sound smarter than you are. But how long do you think it takes to enrich uranium to 90%? And if we destroyed their enrichment facilities, can you explain how that occurred in just a few months?
Well, the technology existed to do it back in 1942.
I don't need your fucking surface level history lesson. We said we destroyed their enrichment facilities in June. Donald Trump specifically, what did he say about the success of that operation?
He talks in exaggeration, so we probably just set it back a little bit.
He's the president of the United States. I don't care if he talks in what do you mean talks in exaggeration? What does that mean? You mean he exaggerate when he speaks? He exaggerates when he speaks?
Yeah, he says he's the best at everything. He totally destroyed everything.
Yeah, he's a moron.
But that's just the way he talks.
No, he's a moron. So he said that we obliterated their enrichment facilities. It was the most successful operation we've ever conducted in cooperation with Israel, and we've set them back years, not months. You don't set someone back months by dropping bunker busters. We wouldn't drop bunker busters. Do you know how much it costs to drop weapons like that? You know how expensive those bombs are? Do you know how those bombs work? Do you know what the purpose of those bombs are? Like they cost a lot of money. It's an operation that's very expensive. You don't do that to set them back a couple of months, okay? So we did that to obliterate their ability to develop weapons-grade enriched uranium. We have no evidence that they're in possession of nuclear weapons or 2 weeks away from possessing nuclear weapons. Donald Trump claims that they're 2 weeks away, but he's presented no evidence that they are. Tulsi Gabbard has presented no evidence they are. Benjamin Netanyahu has presented no evidence that they are. In fact, Benjamin Netanyahu has been perpetuating that claim for 30 years, I would add additionally. Trucker, thank you for the one gifted membership, Trucker. What's your comment?
Are you talking to Trucker or me?
I'm talking to you.
All right. And what was your question?
Did you hear what I just said?
You were rambling on.
I
didn't
wasn't
hear a
rambling.
specific
You just don't know very much about the situation, which is why I had to ask you twice what they said in response. Don't say I'm rambling. You just want to cite a bunch of surface level shit you read on Wikipedia, which I'm not interested. Let's get this straight right now. You don't know what you're talking about. So I've asked you now, do you know how long Benjamin Netanyahu's been perpetuating the claim that they are in possession of weapons-grade enriched uranium?
It was probably shortly after 1979.
No, it's later than that, but a long time. Let's say 30 years, a little bit more than 30 years.
All right, so I was off by about 20 years.
Yeah, because you have no idea what you're talking about. You're just yapping. So, if we can establish, right, an imminent threat, which, did you watch the House Intel Committee hearings?
Nah, I was probably busy doing something else with my life.
All right, this guy's listen. I talk to a lot of pseudo-intellectuals. You're top of the list. You're a fucking moron. Got it? Like, I'm going to deal with that dude's fucking attitude. No, I was probably doing something busier with my life. Shut the fuck up, you dork. All right? Well, I was probably doing something else with my life. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, we conducted Operation to shut him back a couple months. Like, I'm going to deal with your attitude. Get the fuck out of here, dork. Jesus. I get a pseudo intellectual once a night or so.
Call from Brooke Broughton.
I get a pseudo intellectual once a night or so, but if you're gonna be a pseudo intellectual, don't be rude. I didn't want to, it's just, I'm not in the mood, Are you a Trump supporter? And how old are you?
Yeah. Yes. I am 18.
Oh my God. I don't typically talk to people who are 18, but go ahead. What's your opinion on this conflict?
Okay, so
We'll see how it goes.
My parents are huge Trump supporters, and I grew up as a Trump supporter. So, I'm slightly trying to ask for your help because
mods, mute some of these clowns in the chat that are yapping. Show your dominance over them. Do I have mods in the chat? Mute some of these guys talking in the chat. I'm giving you the power to exert your dominance over MAGA right now. They're very submissive. Exert your dominance over them. Sorry, go ahead.
Hello. So my parents are huge Trump supporters, but I'm kind of watching more Democrat videos, and I'm getting just kind of confused, and I'm kind of trying to ask you to help me. Because, sorry, I don't know,
No, I understand. So your parents are Trump supporters, and they are probably difficult to deal with, is what you're saying?
Yes, and, I'm just also trying to, kind of change my views, because a lot of things on, the Republican and conservative side, I very much don't agree with. I support LGBTQ and just stuff like that,
Yeah, here's the thing, you can't help that your parents are Trump supporters. I talk to a lot of people who end up, being on the left side of the political spectrum, no matter where they fall, and they have Trump supporter parents. The fact that you recognize these things is a huge deal. That's that's step one. You're only 18 years old. If you really want my advice, I can definitely give you advice on things you can do to help your parents, right? Mute this Kudota clown in the fucking chat, please. Goodbye, Kudota Muppet. But if you want my honest advice, You're only 18 years old. You should really just don't worry about what your parent. I understand that what you're trying to do. Here's what I would do if you're going to do something. Just continue to provide them legitimate sources. Do you have good sources of information, or do you want me to give you good sources of information and you can write them down, to sources that I use in particular?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have a couple, but I'm not like sure if they're like good or not. Like I watch a lot of Midas Touch.
Yeah, Midas Touch. I know somebody from Midas Touch. Yeah, so actually a couple people from Midas Touch. So Midas Touch is all right, but like Reuters, for instance, BBC, PBS, those are really good. I use Al Jazeera a little bit for this conflict right now. What am I missing? I think that's a good start. That's a pretty good start. BBC, PBS, Reuters, Al Jazeera. But the key with like dismantling someone's ideology is continuously providing them sources of information that can't be debunked, right? Real factual information provided by credible research and over an extended period of time. But I don't know how old your parents are. How old are your parents, roughly?
They're in their early 40s.
Wow, so they're still relatively young. I mean, if you're really that interested in it, I would just, whenever there's a major topic, I would just continuously provide them the research, right? So you may believe something to be true and you research it, but make sure you have legitimate sources of information, compile it, and send it to them. Hey, Mom, would you be willing to look this over? I don't think when someone is like entrenched in their ideology, it's not as easy as I can say one thing to break them out of this mold. That's not possible. But I have seen some people that have, conversations with me online and stuff, they will have conversations over an extended period of time, and then you'll be able to plant a seed, right? You just plant a seed. Your goal has to be planting a seed. Only they can come to the conclusion themselves. You will never be able to force them to come to a conclusion, but you can plant enough of a seed that they might start to critically analyze their position. And what you do is continue to provide them research, legitimate research from good sources that can't be debunked, that are backed by credible sources of information. So that way they can't just say, well, that's a conspiracy or that's misinformation. Maybe when they tell you things, right, like that are clearly not true. Like, for instance, a guest earlier said Trump was not guilty in that New York case. There's credible information you can research and provide to someone to prove that he was guilty of these crimes, right? He said things like there was all Democrats on that jury. Well, that's not true either. He didn't give me a chance to talk, but there was actually Republicans on that jury. In fact, people who got their news from Truth Social. So it really has to do with providing them consistency and providing them information over an extended period of time so you can plant enough of a seed that they critically analyze their position. You're never going to say one thing that breaks them out of that mold. Are they hardcore Trump supporters? Or
yeah,
they just
go to rallies and stuff.
Wow. They go to rallies.
It's pretty bad.
That sounds pretty bad. So, you're 18 years old, so you're going to continue to research and learn. And the more that you research and learn, you're going to be more capable of having these conversations with them. And believe me, if they're engaging in political conversation with you, then it's probably going to, continue as you get older and more informed and more educated on these things. But that would be my advice. Just start to develop a list of really credible sources, right? And anytime a major story happens, provide them the truth about that story. Don't allow them to absorb the Fox News narrative, right? Provide them information that's true about a particular topic, so that way they don't absorb whatever they hear on Fox News. And if they do say something to you that's not true that they heard on Fox News, provide them the truth through these sources so they can critically analyze whether or not their position is correct. It may not happen right away. They may immediately. They're probably going to push back on you, right, and say, you know, hey, you're wrong. No, I heard Jesse Waters say this, or no, you know, they tend to kind of like fight back pretty quickly. It's like if you go to somebody and confront them about, you know, it's kind of similar to confronting someone about their alcoholism. You kind of get the same kind of response, you know, denial, and sometimes it's anger, but it depends on who your parents are. I don't know how they respond typically, but that would be, I think, the best piece of advice I could give you for right now.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, I do want to say this though. You're only 18 years old. Focus on making sure that you can become the most educated that you can. You know, like, as long as you become the most educated that you can, everything else will fall into place. I know it's difficult. I've had friends that are young and happen to land on the left, and their parents are MAGA people, and it's not easy. You know, it's not easy, especially when you believe in those things like you do. So you're headed down the right path, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Take care.
You too.
That's a tough position to be in when you're young. You know, mom and dad are hardcore MAGA people. I've had people who watch me tell their parents to start watching me, you know, and then like the mother or the father will get into it and start watching, and then suddenly they become less of a Trump supporter, but it's very hard to do. So all you can do is just consistently provide the truth. That's the only thing you can do. If you're consistent, it's very possible to plant enough of a seed that they critically analyze, where am I actually foolish? You know, am I you know, listening to people that aren't telling me the truth? You can do that. The more that you remain consistent in providing the truth. All right, Horizon, why don't you call in, Horizon? Stop crying, Horizon. Yes, we dropped nuclear weapons. Nuclear, they always say. We dropped nuclear weapons on their enrichment facilities. Nuclear weapons. The fact that you're mispronouncing nuclear and saying we dropped nukes on their enrichment facilities, my God. Horizon, give me a call. Give me a call, sweetheart. I'd love to speak to you. Yep, some people go conservative after have their first child. What? I don't know what you're talking about. The older I get, the more left I become. I think it's the opposite, to be completely honest. I think when you have children, you're more likely to be more accepting, because you can't control who your child becomes, and you would never want your child to live a lie, would you? Wouldn't you want your child to live their truth? So I find it to be the opposite. That's a total lie that the older people get, the more conservative they become. It's just not true. I can't stand it. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, I get the more, but also it depends on, remember, aging with the correct information. You're also, like, to people in the chat that get farther left, you're also aging with the proper information. You're not aging with, you know what I mean, Fox News. You know, if I listened to Fox News every night, I'd probably be a right-wing asshole too. You know, I'd probably be a Republican too. Every single night I was watching Fox News and Jesse Waters was telling me undocumented immigrants are about to murder my children, I'd probably be an asshole too. I'd probably hate undocumented immigrants too. You know, people get sucked into these, you know, sources of information that are just completely false, and then they're unwilling to explore anyone else's opinion on a topic. I don't think Fox News has ever been right about anything, but it's comfortable. Red Balloon says, well, deleting comments, I'm out. Yeah, Red Balloons. If you say something insulting, your comments get deleted. Right? You're not allowed to insult me. Got it? Brown Egg Girls, I love how he says, I'm out, like we're going to cry. No, Red Balloon, don't leave, Red Balloon. No, please don't go. I love this guy here. Sean says, anytime I watch people like you, I'm happy I have a brain. Why don't you call in, Sean? Let's see how much of a brain you have. Because in your profile picture, it's you with 2 dead deer. So I imagine this conversation is going to go well. Can you call in, Sean? Jennifer, thank you so much, Jennifer, for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Jennifer. No, I take great consideration into giving advice to someone who's younger like that. You don't want to give the wrong advice. Sean, why don't you give a call in, Sean? Give a call in. Are you scared, Sean? Are you embarrassed that you support Trump? Or are you willing to admit it 10 toes down, Sean? And Jennifer, some guy came in the chat on TikTok this morning and goes, this guy doesn't even ride dirt bikes. Like, wow, I'm so insulted. All right, what's it to you? Says Trump has done more for the people of the United States than you ever could. All right, why don't you call in? What's it to you? And let's have a conversation. If you love Trump so much and Trump is so great, you shouldn't be embarrassed to call in and support him, right? You should be able to call in and say, Adam, I support Trump 10 toes down. Yeah, just mute the insults. Mute the insults. If they insult me, mute them. If they just make regular political comments, just leave it. For now, just mute insults. What's it to you? Why don't you pop on in? What's it to you?
Call from
Steve.
Steve, are you what's it to you?
No, I'm not.
Are you the deer guy?
Mistakenly, no, I wouldn't say so, no.
Oh, that would have been great. That wasn't you with the 2 dead deer? Laura, thank you for the $5 super chat, said the dead deer are smarter than Sean, most definitely. What's your first name?
Steve.
Okay, Steve, the war in Iran, what's up?
I think this is all theatrical performance. You know, everyone wants to claim this nuclear weapons thing, which is a joke to me because, you know, BB and Co. has been saying for years, hey, they almost have it. And it's just like, when is this thing ever going to be finalized? They blew up the facilities and now the facilities are back. So
Agreed.
It's very hard to believe into any of this. I just wanted to say a few points that, I used to support Trump. This is probably 10 years ago,
So you
but
don't
no longer
support,
do.
so you're not a Trump supporter anymore?
No, I've woken up to the madness.
Okay, go ahead. What's up?
I just want to say a few things. The whole term MAGA, if you research what the highest level of the Church of Satan is, it is literally MAGA. And these people are worshiping a satanic entity. I'm not a religious person, but I find it very coincidental that MAGA is the highest tier of the Church of Satan, and that's what this guy's political campaign is named over. And I'll make 2 quick points. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you have a very geared show in one direction, so I'll be quick with it. There's 2 points that Trump supporters will never hear them say. And these are apolitical things that Trump did that were actually for the benefit for everybody within the country, no matter which side you fall on. He gave people who are terminally ill the right to try experimental treatments because, hey, you're terminally ill, you're on your way out. If this works, great. You know, I think that's a good thing for anybody. And then the second thing he did after Lockheed Martin had secrets of their F-35 leaked, you know, China has an exact copy of our F-35. After we updated the helmet to our F-35, then Russia got an update to their Su-57 fighter. Trump brought out Marilyn Houston, who's I believe the CEO, and he actually berated her on camera,
What
saying,
is
"Oh,
this,
we're
man?
not
Are
going to
you
lose."
telling me things Trump has done good? I don't give a shit. He's a fascist.
No, I'm
piece of
saying
shit.
these are apolitical things that you'll never hear a Trump supporter say that he has done good, that will never see the light of day. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not a Trump supporter, but the Trump supporters' heads are filled with bullshit. Not anything that, like, I think he's only done two things that are actually good for everybody. It doesn't matter where you fall. I find it interesting that these two things are never talked about. So I don't support him, but I can't admit, hey, these two things are decent. You know, Biden did decent things. Obama did decent things. But the majority of the things that politicians do are, you know, they lie about what they're going to do, and they never really come through on their promises. So you'll never hear Trump supporters say anything that
I just want to say, though,
done.
when it comes to right to try, that was a bipartisan effort. That wasn't about Trump specifically.
So you're saying that he didn't facilitate it in any way?
He signed it because he put.
That's what I'm
all
saying.
Trump did. All Trump did with right to try was put pen to paper. He didn't do anything else. The FDA already delivered on these compassionate use requests. 99% of them before they even passed the bill. Trump had nothing to do with it. And it was a bipartisan effort. So I just don't understand.
How long was that in the works for?
I don't know, a while.
That's what I'm saying is Obama could have probably done it.
But what I'm saying is there were no additional lives. There's no real proof that more lives were saved as a result of passing the legislation because the FDA was already approving those compassionate use requests, you know, before the bill was passed. So that's all I'm saying. And the second part is it was bipartisan. Trump didn't do anything but sign the bill. It was a Republican and Democrat supported piece of legislation.
Well, he could have not signed the bill. That's what I'm saying. He could have said no. He could have said, "Hey, I'm bought out by the pharmaceuticals." He could have said no.
Well,
clearly.
I mean, it would have been difficult to do. I mean, they probably could have overridden if he didn't sign it, but yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to go off on that, but
I believe it passed the Senate with unanimous consent. I'm 90% sure it was veto-proof, but regardless, he only signed it. So I wouldn't give Trump really credit for that. I understand what you're trying to say, but like in terms of Trump's sole participation in passing that legislation, it's not really. It doesn't exist.
Well, the other thing that he did do that was, you know, somewhat worthy is when you bring out a CEO of Lockheed Martin who has a lot of military technology that they're responsible for keeping secret. When that military technology gets leaked out and or stolen, when he brings out the CEO and he pretty much berates her and says, "Hey, we're not going to lose any more technology now, are we, Maryland?" This is caught on camera. I'm like, you know, there really hasn't been anyone who's tried to check the military-industrial complex.
So what exactly is your point, bro? Just what exactly is your...
What I'm trying to say is this is something that is apolitical. If you try to stand up to the military-industrial complex, that's good for all Americans, but you'll never hear Trump supporters talk about these
Except
things.
he's not. He's doing the opposite of that now. So
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say is he did some decent things at certain points, but you'll never hear these as talking points. They're just literally wind-up toys, everybody in MAGA, because they're supporting something that's pretty much a satanic cover, and they just go out and they speak belligerent bullshit. And I just find it interesting that, you know, your show is very entertaining. And I mean, I wish I was the deer guy, but I don't mean to debate. I just wanted to say there's two things that you'll never hear them say. I'm not saying Trump is responsible clearly for everything.
Here's the thing about
being bipartisan.
Here's the thing about Trump supporters, right? Specifically MAGA, right? Those unwilling to break away from the cult. You know, I used to dismiss that cult narrative. Like, and I've been streaming. I just started on YouTube. I mostly stream on TikTok. But I used to dismiss the cult narrative because I thought it was kind of surface level. Oh, they're a cult. And I wanted to make it more complex than that. But the truth is, there are characteristics. The characteristics of this group are very cult-like. And they will support just about anything he does. There's not a thing. I always say this. If Trump came out tomorrow and said, "I'm going to withdraw $5,000 from everyone's bank account because we need it for the war," Trump supporters would be happy about it as long as liberals were mad. These people are undereducated, overconfident, and really have no true understanding. I think they'd be willing to let us all burn to get the edge in a conversation, to be able to say we owned the libs. So there's no convincing them of anything really. But sometimes you will come across people like yourself who are willing to critically analyze their position and break away from it. I have had it happen. It's about 2 out of every maybe 15.
Gotcha. I agree. I agree with your points. And Trump is the most anti-poor president ever. And who voted for him? The poor and the uneducated.
Always, yeah.
It's pathetic. It's laughable. And I just, if these people don't wake up to what's really going on, that there is a dialectic. I think General Smedley Butler said it. Every war is a banker's war. The people at the top make the money from this. Is Trump getting his pockets lined? I wouldn't say as much as the bankers are. So it's just one of those things where we need to understand that financially our system is in shambles. And if we keep trying to fight each other through these conversations where the newspapers, they can be fixed. These sources, they can lie to us on both sides. And we have to look down in our pockets and say, what's in our pockets right now? How financially secure are we? What's our future financially? And
here's the issue, and you may not explore this as much as I do, but we can certainly have a conversation about it. Trump is a fascist. I don't know if you know this.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. I've been studying this for a long time. Fascism in particular. He meets all 14 tenets of fascism. He's very clearly a fascist. I don't know if you saw what happened in Minnesota, but the federal government in fatigues, killing American citizens, assaulting American citizens. I witnessed this with my own eyes. Is the most fascist thing I've ever witnessed. I couldn't believe I was in the United States watching this happen. It was that shocking. There are plans here that we haven't even seen. This is going to get so much worse before it gets better. And I don't think at this point them waking up is really even a possibility. But what I will tell you is that talking to people, right, isn't about talking to the person you're talking to. It's about people listening, being able to hear both people on both sides of the political spectrum have a conversation. Because you know what? Those people do make decisions based off listening to two people have conversations about particular issues. And they'll say, well, this is a guy who voted for Trump, and this is a guy who didn't. And the guy who voted for Trump sounds like a moron. And that becomes like a consistent trend throughout a live. That's where it can become productive in convincing people not to vote for Trump. But it's not a one-all fix-all. I mean, it's not. We're at a stage. I did this long before Trump even became president. Tried to convince people not to vote for Donald Trump. Worked tirelessly to try and convince people not to vote for Donald Trump. But here we are. These guys will be typing laughing emojis until the nuke hits our country, quite literally. I'm being honest with you. Like, they're that.
I agree.
Do you know what? You ever heard the term "own the libs" politicking? Don't underestimate that many of these people, because they're so undereducated, have forgotten what it's truly about. Right? What's good for them? What's we the people? Right? The entire purpose of this whole thing, and they're just concerned with winning, owning the libs. It's as sad as it is. I know it sounds so simple and surface level, but for many of them, it is quite literally about owning the libs.
Yeah, it would be considered, and I know this term gets thrown out there and it's kind of been bastardized, but this would be considered a narcissistic defense mechanism known as splitting. One side becomes all good, and the other side becomes all bad. And a key core fundamental of fascism is a constant state of revolution. It's an organizing principle as well as an explanatory principle. There's an in-group, MAGA, and then the out-group is anyone who opposes. Even someone like myself who woke up to what was going on, I would be considered the out-group.
Identifying enemies as a unifying cause. Have you ever heard this before?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a core characteristic, yes.
Renee, and it's built off of charisma.
Renee, really quick. Renee, appreciate you for the super chat, Renee. Thank you so much.
the charismatic side of fascism is where these numbskulls, the spell is it's so powerful. They can't wake up because, Trump has charisma. He was this businessman. He was bailed out in the 90s for close to $4 billion. And Wilbur Ross, who was the Rothschild banking agent at the time, on camera said the Trump name is worth saving. This was the Taj Mahal incident, where he just completely fell on his face financially. And it's just like they can't acknowledge that this man is a complete lie. His whole existence is just a lie.
It's insane.
And no one wants to acknowledge it. It really is. But I know you have a lot of other calls. I know how your show kind of goes. So I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I appreciate you, brother.
Having a good conversation, grassroots. That's exactly what you're talking about. The grassroots conversation is how these changes happen.
Yep.
And we have to wake up and acknowledge that there's people at the top who want us fighting, who don't want real solutions to come about. So I do appreciate your time. And
let me say this really quick before you go. We have to organize, right? We don't need these people to do this successfully, though, right? We don't need MAGA specifically. We need the 3.5% theory, I'm sure. We only need We only need 3.5% of the population to shut this shit down tomorrow. There was more. Yep. There was plenty of people just protesting at No King. But the question is, can we get people to effectively organize? So that's some of the stuff I'm trying to do. Get people to, I'm talking about off of here, get people to organize better, although encouraging people through content creation and stuff like that. But I do believe we could shut this down. And look, I believe this in my heart. I think we are approaching a time where we're going to have to. So depending on what happens, I'm quite concerned about the midterms and whether or not, his confidence, the way he speaks about the future. I know he has presidential immunity, so that obviously plays into his confidence. But this administration speaks as if there is no consequences for their actions, and they're blatantly breaking the law. People like Pam Bondi, for instance, she's actively obstructing justice. She's committing felonies on a daily basis by her refusal to cooperate with the Epstein Transparency Act. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Why are they so confident? It's because they know something we don't know. I mean, they're talking about putting ICE agents at polling locations. How far will they go to remain in power? And I'm very worried that they will go as far as they need to. And I think that's why people need to start getting organized, because we can't accept that as a people. So,
yeah, the Ninth Amendment needs protected. The 10th Amendment overarching police powers is gone awry. And
Dude, you should have seen, Guy, the Constitution. I have a hard time even believing it matters anymore. I watched federal agents punch American citizens in the face, right in front of me. Watched them shove American citizens. I've seen federal agents. There was a guy that was protesting in Minnesota. I went out to Minnesota and during the battle for Minneapolis and stood with the people in Minnesota. I went out there a few times. And there was a guy that was protesting that got tackled by ICE. He was pepper sprayed. When he was on the ground, an ICE agent took a water bottle and dumped cold water on him. Remember, this is negative 10 degree, negative 15 degree temperatures we're in at this time. This was in the middle of winter. You're literally I had a mask on. My mouth was frozen, outside of my mask. That's how cold it was. They deliberately dumped water on him. I saw ICE agents do all sorts of things, point guns at people, chase people through the streets. This is immigration. This is ICE. I mean, the Constitution, people had their wallets stolen, their phones stolen. This is in violation of their Fourth Amendment. These are American citizens. They're there to enforce civil immigration law. These are people protesting. And the media will tell you that we were interfering and all this stuff. No, man. I watched them come out randomly for no reason. They would come out every 45 minutes, and they would turn on a big spotlight. Shoom! This big spotlight would go on in the middle of the street like we were about to have a battle. And ICE would come out, about 50 of them, and line up all in fatigues, holding their weapons. And then they would start marching towards us, right? And we would just stand there, and they would just start shoving us back. Boom, boom, shoving us, way beyond the sidewalk, way beyond. We're not interfering. We're not in the way of cars, none of that stuff. I have a lot of this stuff taped. I have a lot of this stuff recorded. So I hope it comes into play in the future. But crazy, crazy stuff. So to think, I mean, that's their free speech. That's people have a right to protest. What are they doing coming out assaulting people who are protesting? So that right there showed me that the Constitution is, as of right now, in the toilet. And I hope people wake up enough if they interfere with the midterms to say enough is enough. But I don't have much hope.
Yeah, I will say as a last point, all these facilities that have been put up overnight for these ICE detainees, once they get rid of the immigrants, are they just going to unemploy all of the stormtroopers? Are they just going to shut these facilities down? No, they're going to put American citizens in there.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not – well, so ICE, I think, is just essentially Trump's personal army now. I mean, they just do whatever Trump has said, I'll just use ICE for this. The Olympics, airports, like totally – I mean, they don't even have like any – they don't have any experience to do the job they're doing. They get 40 days of training. 40. They don't even have experience doing that job, let alone being in airports or any of the other things he's had them doing, being security guards. Now he's talking about putting them at polling locations to make sure undocumented immigrants don't vote, which is not the case anyway. Statistically, that's not really happening. It's simply an intimidation tactic. But no, I think he will use them for other reasons. I think honestly, they have become his personal army where he can just deploy them to cities that he has beef with. Listen, one thing that when I watched Minnesota on the television before I got there, I had no idea what I was going to see once. So once I actually got there and saw what was happening, I'm telling you, it is nothing like you would see on television. It was so much worse in person. You couldn't even imagine like the difference between what you saw on television and what you saw in person. It was significantly different. It was so much worse. And I think people don't realize how bad it really got there. The first thing I realized when I got there was, this is a vendetta. This is personal. This is an attack on a state that Trump has a personal problem with. In Keith Ellison, in Tim Walz, whatever you think about these people, it doesn't matter. The president of the United States sent his personal army to a state that he had a political difference with and used them to essentially, abuse them for months.
Occupy them, yeah. And that's the thing is, it doesn't really make any sense when the majority of illegals statistically weren't in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with that. I'm telling you, it was all about. Yeah, it was all about abusing America. These weren't undocumented people standing in the street. These were American citizens. These were my fellow Americans that were being beat. Like, this is not. Like, I watched this happen. These weren't undocumented immigrants. I remember a guy approached me. You can even see it on my TikTok channel. It's on my main account. This guy approaches and he goes, I was pulled over by ICE. Brown guy. I was pulled over by ICE. They pulled me over. They took me out of the car. They took my wallet from me. They took my phone from me. They took all this stuff from me and then said, get back in your car and leave, and never gave him his property back. That's in violation of his Fourth Amendment. He was so afraid that they were going to shoot him, he didn't want to walk back up to the ICE facility to ask for his stuff back. That is the stuff that happened in Minnesota, and people don't realize that can and will happen to your state coming soon, and I hope people are preparing for it, because that's just the beginning. That was a test run. That was a test run for what he's going to do when people respond to whether it's trying to interfere with the midterms or whatever else he tries to do. That was a test run to see how effectively they can control the population when things get out of control. But thanks for calling in, dude.
I agree. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. D-Man, why don't you call in, D-Man? This guy says, you are not a real Trump supporter if you don't enlist. Be a patriot and fight for your leader, MAGA. Facts. Facts. If you are a MAGA supporter, you need to go fight for Israel. If you're a Trump supporter, go fight for Israel. Israel is calling. Israel is calling. Ashen Horseman, just so you know, in case you're not aware of this, Donald Trump refuses to take a draft off the table. That's not a coincidence. His refusal to take the draft off the table is because he doesn't want to get rid of a tool that he may need in the future. Guys, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. If you guys want me to stay on, every single person check in the chat. I want every single person to check in the chat. That's number one. I need everybody to hit the thumbs up button. Let's contribute to the gifting goal here. Let's get the live on the algorithm. If you want me to stay on, let's get some activity in the chat. I want every single person to check in, say you're here, how you enjoying the live, send a super chat. Let's get going here. I'm going to use the bathroom really quick. Give me just 1 second. I'm also going to pull this up really quick while I'm doing that, so that way you guys aren't sitting. This only takes a minute for me to go to the bathroom, but I don't like silence on the live, so I'm just simply going to pull up this really quick from 9 hours ago so you guys can listen. Donald Trump is announcing a brand new White House app. What?
At my administration. Today, I'm pleased to announce that my administration is launching a brand new official White House app, giving front row access to all news from your favorite president, Donald J. Trump. That's me. It's available today on the Apple and Android app stores. You can watch all White House events, read all my executive orders, and keep track of all of our promises made, promises kept. That was a phrase that I used during the campaign, and it's very true. In fact, I actually kept more promises than I even talked about. We did much more than I said we were going to do. Every American should expect their government to have transparency, and the Trump administration is the most transparent in history. That is for sure. No one knew that Sleepy Joe Biden was doing. We had no idea what that guy was doing. The good news is he had no idea either. But my administration is inviting all Americans to join us on this mission to make America great again. I believe it has to be the most important, powerful phrase in the history of politics. Make America great again. And we have made America great again. Now we want to keep it great. So download the new White House app today. Thank you very much. You have done a great job. We appreciate it. Thank you.
What do you guys think? What the hell is that? A new White House app. Do I think Biden was better? Yes. Yes, but I think this country needs to move in a much different direction going forward. A new, younger, human rights focused direction. Leanne, thank you so much, Leanne. Let's freaking go. Stephanie with the $5 super chat. Let's go, Stephanie. See if we can complete the gifting goal. If you guys are enjoying the live, MAGA, our PDF files with the $1.99 says molesters are governing America. You're right about that, dude. Yes, they are. Of course it tracks you. It couldn't be more obvious. It couldn't be more obvious. So just to break in a little bit to help understand. This is today's update, March 30th. I put some of these things down because I'm going to start doing daily updates if they put boots on the ground. I'm going to start doing daily Substack updates if they start doing boots on the ground. So be prepared for that if you happen to be on Substack. But this is the stuff that I have for today, March 30th. Trump escalates the conflict. While days ago he was claiming negotiations and calming and coming together to a certain goal, President Trump threatens to obliterate Iran's power plants, oil wells, if no deal is done soon. Claims Iran accepted most of a 15-point plan, specifically focused on no nuclear weapons.
Call from
David.
David, are you a Trump supporter? Sorry, guys, we'll have to do this first. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I support Trump.
Tina, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Tina, appreciate you, Tina. You support Trump. Do you support the war in Iran?
I do. I think it's necessary that we diminish their ability to make weapons.
What kind of weapons?
All kinds.
No, you can't do that. You cannot determine that a country cannot have the ability to defend themselves. If you're specifically talking about nuclear weapons, we can talk. Would you like to have a conversation about
nuclear weapons and hypersonic missiles?
Okay. Well, I disagree. I mean, I think that when it comes to the legal justification for the war, we're going to have to provide what's called an imminent threat, right? Constitutionally. The president doesn't have some kind of unilateral authority to decide that a country can't possess military capabilities or weapons or things like that. We need to provide that there's an imminent threat. Correct?
Do you think Iran has attacked its allies and American citizens?
So when are we talking about specifically? Because I know that Iran has conducted retaliatory strikes, but I know that Israel pretty much is the aggressor historically.
Did Iran take hostages that were American citizens?
Did Israel kill innocent people? I mean,
yes, they do.
Right. So when it comes to the United States, we need to provide that they're an imminent threat to us specifically. If they're an imminent threat to Israel, that's the obligation of Israel. But are they an imminent threat to the United States of America?
Yes, because there are a lot of Jews in New York, Miami, and Los Angeles, and those will be their top 3 targets in the United States.
Okay, so first of all, do they have the missile technology to reach any of those places?
They could put a donkey on a submarine and have the donkey with a suitcase nuke strapped to its back.
No, they couldn't. Who told you that?
Donkey technology has existed for at least 4,000 years.
Wrong. No, they couldn't. They would. No, they could not. That's absolutely.
How long have donkeys existed?
I don't know what you. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying is absolutely ridiculous. The only way
nukes exist.
They don't have nuclear weapons.
Could they make a nuclear weapon?
If they enrich uranium to weapons grade, yes. But
have they done anything to enrich uranium?
Yes. But not.
Why are they enriching uranium?
They want a civilian nuclear program.
Do you believe they have no ambitions for nuclear weapons?
I believe they have no ambitions to strike the United States.
Do you believe there are Jewish people living in the United States that the Iranians would like to kill?
No, I don't think it has anything. I don't think it's specific to Jewish people. I think it's specific to Israel. And Israel is the oppressor of these other countries, as we witnessed in Palestine. So let's talk about Operation Midnight Hammer. Do you know what Operation Midnight Hammer is?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
We dropped bunker busters on Iranian nuclear enrichment facilities.
Correct. And what did Donald Trump say was the success of said operation?
He said they totally obliterated it, but he was false.
Oh, so what you're saying is the president lied?
Yes.
Okay. So the president was asked the other day, specifically 2 days ago, I believe. What is today? Monday? Say Monday or Tuesday?
Monday, March 30th.
It was on Friday, the 27th. He was asked by Caitlin Collins whether or not the operation conducted in June was worth it, considering he's claiming their nuclear deployment capabilities are the justification for the war. And he said yes. He did not backtrack and say no. In fact, after he claimed we obliterated these facilities, he was asked about satellite images that were released that showed trucks outside of enrichment facilities, questions about whether or not they moved the uranium. You remember that?
Should we have used more bunker busters, or should we have gone straight to nuclear?
I think the operation was as successful as it could be. I think he's lying right now about the legal justification for the war. I'm going to play you something really quick that's going to debunk your entire narrative, okay? So I'm going to put you on hold, and I need you to pull my live stream up and listen to it because it will come through my live stream, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, let me pull this up for this guy really quick. By the way, you can't argue a legal justification if you claim the president is lying, because that means you don't know, right? It's just a guess. All right, I'm playing this for this guy. This is going to be a clip of President Trump claiming the justification for the war. Remember, you need a legal justification, an imminent threat in order to conduct these style of military operations. The president doesn't have complete unilateral authority to do these things without imminent threat legally. So Trump is going to make a claim as to why, and the following person is going to be the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this?
In fact, let me actually pull it up on the live. For your viewing pleasure, folks, I'm going to pull it right up on the live stream. I want you guys to physically see it. I'm sure many of you that watch me on TikTok have seen this before, but...
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack if we didn't do it. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action.
I predict there's going to be some arguing later between these two because Marco just blew that narrative right out of the water. One more time, folks. One more time.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack if we didn't do it. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action.
Let's bring that guy back. Give you a second to listen to it. Did you hear it good and clear? Sir? He must be listening to it. Guys, while we're waiting, I'd appreciate contributing to the gifting goal. We have 10 left. If you guys are enjoying these late night lives and the content all day, I would appreciate supporting. Hello?
Yes.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I was watching the live stream.
Did you hear what Marco Rubio said and Trump said?
Yes.
Okay. And what did Marco Rubio say?
He said they knew Israel was going to attack and we had to do something to protect American troops.
Right. So that eliminates that there was an imminent threat. right? If Israel was planning an attack and these are preemptive strikes to prevent attacks on U.S. military bases, then that eliminates the idea that Iran was an imminent threat. You don't get to cite things from that happened years ago when it comes to the legal justification for this war. Did you watch the House Intel Committee hearing at all? Familiar? Tulsi Gabbard?
I did not.
Okay. She couldn't provide there was an imminent threat in 90 days, let alone 30. So the point is that this was a decision by Israel to attack Iran. I think they pressured Trump to do this because they wanted it. I think Benjamin Netanyahu in particular wanted this done before the midterms because he knows if they don't have a successful midterm, Democrats are going to stall him out. His administration effectively comes to an end if Democrats have the midterm people are expecting, according to the numbers. But I think Trump pulled the trigger because of the Epstein stuff. Now, I'm not going to get into that, but the timing, I think, is related to that. But regardless, this was Israel going to conduct a military operation, and the U.S. was simply launching preemptive strikes. I would also get into strategically why this is a disaster if you want to have that conversation as well, why I think this war is not coming to an end anytime soon, and specifically refer to their restructured military doctrine to explain it if you'd like.
Now, do you think Trump wants an ongoing war with American troops on the ground around the time of the midterm election and shortly after so that he cannot get impeached, or the chances of him getting impeached will be less likely?
He can get impeached. That wouldn't have any bearing on whether he can get impeached. We don't not have elections because of war, right? This country doesn't have no elections, even if you declare martial law, although not explicitly outlined in the Constitution. Even in the case of like the Insurrection Act, we have elections in this country. The president doesn't declare that we don't have elections, right? Even if we're at war. So we would still have elections regardless. Do I think Trump wants complete chaos? Maybe. Do I think he wants a conflict to distract from what was happening with the Epstein files? I do. I don't, though, think that he predicted that they would be in this difficult of a position. I think that is quite literally due to incompetence and lack of preparation. I think Israel performed an end run on our intelligence agencies. I think they're very predatory, and I think they absolutely preyed on the president's desperation, incompetence, our intelligence agencies' incompetence, and got them to, without much preparation, conduct decapitation strikes on a government that has been studying the U.S. and Israeli military for the last several decades and is quite literally structured to survive decapitation strikes. And so I think the U.S. and Israel thought, I don't think Israel thought it. I think Israel knew that they would conduct decapitation strikes and then ultimately Iran would choke the Strait of Hormuz. But I don't think that Trump thought that. And I think, we know he went against the better advice of generals who were telling him not to do this, right?
Do you think it's possible that this has very little to do with Iran and what's being done is to weaken China?
Yeah, I've heard this theory before, but I don't. I don't think Trump is playing chess. I think I just told you he's an idiot and incompetent. So clearly I don't think he's performing some kind of end run on China. I think Trump quite literally, if you listen to Trump's original speech when they first conducted these strikes, what did he say? He said, to the Iranian people, now is the time to rise up because it's going to be generations before you can do this again. Right? He quite literally thought if you killed the supreme leader and others in charge, that it would be like a chicken with their head cut off, run around and collapse, without understanding that Iran's government is structured to survive those types of strikes. The IRGC is structured quite literally to survive decapitation strikes and to be able to fight even when cut off from their leadership. Why? Because that's how the United States and Israel conduct these military operations. They kill leadership and then hope the government crumbles from within. They were trying to spark an Iranian uprising and it didn't work. Then Iran, in a retaliatory measure, mined the Strait of Hormuz. Now they can't leave until they secure the Strait of Hormuz. And it's much more difficult than they thought. I made a video immediately after this happened, immediately after they invaded, and I said, Donald Trump just handed Iran their nuclear weapon, and you don't need weapons-grade enriched uranium. They're going to choke the Strait of Hormuz, and it's going to tangle the U.S. For an extended period. How long, I can't say, but I do know it. Listen, what's the greatest evidence of incompetence? When the objective of the conflict becomes undoing it. Right?
And what country suffers the most from the Strait of Hormuz being blocked?
Oh, well, the United States suffers the most from this conflict, period. The United States suffers
What about
the most.
those in the United States who own stock in ExxonMobil?
Well, there's always people who benefit from war, sir, but the average American will pay dearly for this. Some will pay with their blood, some will pay with their wallet, but they will pay the most. You know, the sad reality is, if you listen, I encourage you to go listen to the House Intel Committee hearing, because they quite literally couldn't tell us whether or not the president was briefed on the fact that Iran would mine the strait. How do you not tell this guy that they're going to do that? He said the other day, nobody knew that they would do this. We didn't think they would do this. Trump said he didn't think they would attack people in the Gulf. I mean, I don't understand what he's talking about there. Is he that naive? He is that naive. We way too often downplay his incompetence. You're a Trump supporter, right? I got to tell you, he's an idiot. I hate to say it. He's an idiot. He just is. Do you know what if I'm able to research how the IRGC is structured and how the government is structured, how is our government not capable of researching those things? How is our government not aware of the fact Trump can't even collapse the regime? He can't even successfully.
I think he took out their top 2 to 3 levels of leadership.
Oh, yeah, who told you that?
I've seen on several news agencies that
no, Trump
several
said that.
Top leaders have been killed.
Nope, Trump said that. Trump said we took out 3 levels, 3 different regimes. They killed the supreme leader. The son, the Ayatollah, is the son now, who is 30 years younger than his father. Exactly. He's 56 years old. His father was 86 years old. He's 3 times as angry, 30 years younger, and has even more incentive to develop weapons-grade enriched uranium to develop a nuclear weapon now to attack the United States. If anything, I think you've put the United States in more danger. You've put your allies in more danger as a result of this. But I think Israel is playing this smart. Did you hear Israel doesn't even want to put boots on the ground? That it's likely just going to be U.S. troops if it ends up boots on the ground? How do you feel about that?
Do you think Israel is using this Iranian conflict as a distraction while they take over Lebanon and parts of Syria
partially,
and most of the Gaza Strip?
Partially, yes. And I think they also obviously want the United States to do their dirty work in Iran. Yep. Hey, guess what? What Israel is doing right now, we banned Russia from the Olympics for.
Do you know what Israel's name was before it became Israel?
Yeah, what's your point?
I think it was Jacob the Deceiver.
Jacob the Deceiver, what's your point?
Israel is very deceptive.
I don't want to get into an anti-Semitic conversation if that's where you're going, but I'm just saying the government is evil, okay? I don't want to get into
the United States government is evil?
The Israeli government is evil. If you want to get into a conversation about, I don't want to get into it, but if you're going to go down that path, I don't want to go there. I'm going to stop you before you even do it. I just want to say the government is evil. I don't agree with, I think Israel is an apartheid. I don't agree with the Israeli government and what they're doing and what they did in Gaza. I mean, have you seen Rafah lately? It's rubble. So
Do
I don't
you support the Iranian government and what they're doing?
No, but there's nuance. I don't think there's a good guy, bad guy in this situation at all. I think everyone's bad, but I just think that the United States need not be involved.
So we should just let Iran do whatever it wants?
Did I say that?
You said we shouldn't get involved in Iran.
Yeah, so you said whatever they want. Whatever they want. No, if they obviously attacked us, we would certainly have the justification to retaliate. But I don't think that the Iran has any interest in attacking the United States. I think it's complete hogwash. I think it's complete bullshit. I don't think Iran has any interest in attacking the United States.
Why would they not want to attack the same nation they call Big Satan?
Does the United States call other countries these things? Does the United States call other countries names and threaten them? And I mean, the United States doesn't have a listen. The United States doesn't have a history or a leg to stand on when it comes to like moral high ground.
The United States influences the elections in almost every country.
That's not entirely true, but okay. The point is, North Korea has nuclear weapons and has missile technology and threatens the United States. Russia has weapons, nuclear weapons, and threaten the West regularly with nuclear deployment. Both of those countries hate the United States. Both of those countries would like to attack the United States. The United States has no control over those countries. Why are they not an imminent threat? Lees, thank you so much, Lees.
Suicidal religious fanatics like Iranian leaders.
See, I knew you. This is why I literally knew that you were going to say that. Guy, that is not a thing. You don't get to determine because people are or believe in Islam that suddenly they're more dangerous. You think Kim Jong-un is less dangerous than the supreme leader?
Kim Jong-un is doing whatever his sister tells him to do.
No. Tell me the difference between Kim Jong-un and the Ayatollah, the previous Ayatollah. Lees, thank you so much, Lees. Tell me the difference between, tell me something the Ayatollah has done that Kim Jong-un hasn't done. I'm talking about the father.
I don't think they made the women in North Korea cover their hair.
They killed them.
Their bodies.
They kill them. They put them in concentration camps. Do you know about the concentration camps in North Korea?
They exist in almost every country.
What? Concentration camps exist in every country, sir? Did you just say that?
I think we had Japanese internment camps.
We did. We don't now. We're about to again, though, because you voted for Trump, but we're trying to prevent that. They have work camps, slave labor camps in North Korea right now. They actively commit major human rights violations on a massive scale. People are starving. Do you know that? Do you know anything about North Korea? See, because it's this particular hatred for Iran. I'm not saying Iran's regime is good. Iran's regime is not good. But North Korea is not good either. And Donald Trump has no problem kissing their ass. But you know what the difference is? Israel has no interest in North Korea. That is the difference. They're both dangerous to the United States. They both have, I mean, in fact, North Korea, is there an agreement in place to prevent them from conducting missile testing or producing weapons capable of harming American citizens? Do they threaten?
They already have hypersonic missiles that can reach the West Coast.
Right. You just proved my point. Does Iran have the missile technology that can reach the United States?
Their range is about England, maybe Ireland at best.
No. Yeah, Europe, correct. So who's more dangerous?
North Korea is more dangerous right now.
Thank you. So then if North Korea is more dangerous, then why are we not doing this to North Korea?
Because Kim Jong-un doesn't have as much desire to kill Americans or American Jews
that's
as
just not true.
Iran
Stop
does.
saying American Jews. It's Jewish people, but that's not true. It's not true. Where'd you get that from? How do you know that? How would you know that? Because Israel told you that?
Iranians have been trying to kill Jews, and the
North
Jews
Korea
have been trying to get rid of Iran for a long time.
North Korea and Israel has done the same to Iran. Iran didn't attack Israel. Israel attacked Iran.
Was Iran funding Hamas, and was Hamas firing
Was Israel committing a genocide?
Years?
Was Israel committing a genocide? Are they an apartheid
Yeah,
state?
Israel definitely did a genocide in Gaza.
Well, there you go. So you're saying don't fund the Are you saying don't fund the terrorists to attack the terrorists? The point I'm making is they're all bad, and that's why the United States need not be involved. The United States needs to focus on the American people so my fellow Americans don't have to take out GoFundMes to pay for insulin. My fellow Americans, my brave servicemen and women don't need to spill blood for Israel. Those days are over. We're done with it. We're tired of it. I don't care. You're literally bringing up Jewish people in New York City. They have nothing to do with this. Nothing.
There will always be barbarians at the gate, and we have to take them out.
You spoken like a true Zionist. Spoken like a true Zionist, that word barbarian. Listen, if they committed I'm glad you at least as a Zionist you admitted they committed a genocide. That's unusual. Typically people don't do that. They say it was self-defense for October 7th.
I think October 7th was allowed to happen to create a false flag event.
October 7th is partially Trump's fault as well in terms of the Abraham Accords, not recognizing a Palestinian state. Agreed?
Yeah, I think it was
good. So you're not a Zionist. So you're not a Zionist. What are you? Why don't you understand then that all of these countries there is no good guy, right? There's much nuance here that can't be covered in the short time we have to talk, right? But you clearly recognize that these countries are all evil and that the United States needs to just pull out and let them fight it out. It's not our business. It's not. It's just not.
But we can't just stay at home and ignore the rest of the world and hope they never come for us.
Did I advocate for an isolationist policy?
Well, you said we just need to stay out of their business.
Yeah, in this particular situation, I'm a supporter of, for instance, Ukraine not becoming, not weakening their sovereignty in those negotiations, which means I'm not an isolationist. But I don't think the United States needs to be doing Israel's bidding. I'm tired of the United States fighting for Israel. We're tired of it. It's enough is enough. And by the way, this is the opinion of most young people in this country. We are we are recognizing what Israel's doing. So I'm just letting you know that it's not going to last much longer. People are starting to get elected that refuse AIPAC money, and eventually it's going to end up that Israel is going to be on their own. So I'm just letting you know.
Do you think it's important that we have Israel as an ally in the Middle East? Because that would be one of our only land-based locations where we could have a large presence.
It's not our only, but I think they do more harm than good. But if they don't want to be an ally because we refuse to attack countries that haven't attacked them, then I think it's time to sever that relationship.
Do you think it would be wise to relocate Israel to South Africa?
No, I do. So what? So then they can do the same thing there? I mean, what No, I think that Israel needs to stop attacking people. That would be a start. I think the United States needs to, if the United, what would be a great start? Stop giving them money for bulldozers and bombs. and tell them we're done supplying you weapons to kill innocent people. Put your foot down. Enough is enough. We're not giving you any more weapons to bulldoze Palestinian homes. Okay? We're done with the bombs. We're not supplying these things to you. If you're going to do this, you're going to do it by yourself. And then if you do get attacked, you're going to face those repercussions alone. That's a start. That would be a start. I don't think that particular to this, I think this war is a great example of what I'm talking about. They can't even get their story straight on whether or not Iran was going to attack us first or Israel was going to attack Iran, and these were preemptive strikes to prevent attacking U.S. military bases. Which is it? Do you not have a tremendous amount of concern that the Secretary of State is contradicting the president? I find that incredibly concerning. I can't believe more people are not talking about that. I mean, I saw like one other video of someone talking about that. It's like a major thing. The Secretary of State is contradicting the president on the justification for a major conflict, which may or may not, but likely may, require boots on the ground. Do you find that concerning, sir?
I'm not surprised with everything that's going on and so much information flowing back and forth that they're not on the same page.
Oh, my God. Are you sick? What's your first name?
David.
David, are you full of shit? Did you just say I'm not surprised because there's so much information going back and forth that they don't know the justification for the war? Do you understand you would have to have a legal justification to make the decision constitutionally? The president doesn't have unilateral authority to just decide to conduct military operations like this without an imminent threat to the American population.
I think Iran wants nukes, and they're doing what they can to get it, and that's an imminent threat.
But you have no evidence of that.
No, I haven't been there.
So what's your evidence come from? Do you not have more? So I would just say to that.
Should we wait for there to be a nuclear flash before we say there's the evidence?
I think Iran shouldn't have a nuclear weapon like no country should have a nuclear weapon. But I would go a step further and say that should the United States be surprised that other countries don't want to negotiate with them, right? Don't want to, have a diplomatic agreement with them based off how the United States has treated other countries that have surrendered their nuclear deployment capabilities. And furthermore, how do you maintain your sovereignty in 2026 without nuclear deployment capabilities? Let's look at Ukraine specifically. Ukraine surrendered their nuclear deployment capabilities. We made a diplomatic agreement with them and Russia, right, to surrender their capabilities in 1994, right? They inherited the stockpile of the Soviet Union and possessed the second largest stockpile in the world. When they got attacked by Russia, we supported them, and then within a few years, we want to pull out of that agreement. We called their leader into the White House. We mocked him. We ridiculed him. We mocked his attire. We kicked him out of the White House, by the way. We wouldn't even let the guy eat lunch. If you're Iran and you see how Ukraine has been treated without nuclear weapons, because Ukraine never would have been invaded had they possessed nuclear deployment capabilities. Russia never would have invaded them. Had Ukraine possessed those capabilities, they never would have been invaded. Do you think Ukraine regrets surrendering their nuclear stockpile to maintain their sovereignty and making an agreement with the United States to assist in defending their sovereignty if they were ever invaded? Of course they do, right?
Yeah, Ukraine should have kept their nukes.
Right. And do you believe they should have kept their nukes?
They probably wish they had.
So why would Iran negotiate with the United States to come up with some kind of diplomatic solution when the United States cannot uphold their existing diplomatic agreements with other countries who have previously surrendered their nuclear deployment capabilities?
Well, nobody should trust anybody. It comes down to force.
Didn't you just say they shouldn't have nuclear weapons? You're saying the United States should be able to dictate whether or not another country has those capabilities.
The United States has pretty much enslaved every country with the petrodollar.
Why are you pivoting? I just asked
Pivoting
you
from what?
why specifically should the United States be able to dictate whether or not another country has those capabilities?
Because we have a more powerful military.
No. Morally. Why should the United
Well,
States...
morals go out the window when it comes down to force.
So what you're saying is we should invade every single country who has nuclear deployment capabilities then?
Those who are the biggest threat to us.
But you have not been able to substantiate they're the biggest threat outside of their ideological commitment.
Well, if we go there and eliminate their capability, we don't have to worry about their intentions.
How? How do you do that? Do you know what the Mosaic Doctrine is? Do you know how their government is structured? Do you know that the regime is still up and running and that they don't collapse via decapitation strikes, as I explained earlier?
What was the name of Iran before it was Iran?
Why does this guy keep saying weird, unrelated shit? Can you answer the question,
It was
please?
Persia.
Yes, can you answer the question,
Persia
please? I know all about the Iranian Revolution and the Shah. I don't need a history lesson from you. I want you to answer my question.
And what was the question again?
You're not listening to my question. You need to listen to my question and stop trying to be a smart guy. No one needs a history lesson from you on the Iranian Revolution. Why should the United States have the ability to force a country to surrender their nuclear deployment capabilities?
Because we're the biggest guy on the block.
So then should we do that with other countries who have similar capabilities?
Well, once they have nuclear capabilities, our options are limited.
Right.
So we have to stop Iran before they get their capabilities.
So what you're saying is we should stop Iran simply because they don't have a nuclear weapon from getting a nuclear weapon? How do we permanently prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon?
We got to cut the grass every week in Iran.
So permanent occupation?
Permanent strikes or...
Oh, my God. He admitted
anytime,
it, folks.
anywhere inspection.
He admitted it, folks. He wants permanent strikes. So this guy wants to continuously conduct military operations in Iran. That's exactly what I wanted you to admit. Thank you. The entire point.
We have to cut the grass every week.
No, those are two different things. It doesn't cost billions of dollars to cut grass. Okay, it's not the same thing. It's a false equivalency. Nice try.
So we should allow Iran to get nuked?
Let me ask you something. How much do you think it cost us in the first 48 hours of this war? Did you ever observe or look at a cost analysis?
And how was that money created?
Can you answer the question, please?
It's probably about $500 billion the first day.
No. $500 billion? You don't have a good concept of money, do you?
Maybe $100 billion the first day?
No.
What was it?
Over 48 hours, like $5 billion. $500 billion.
Okay.
Guy, do you understand how much $500 billion is?
And when we spend money on weapons, does that money go to
Guy, if
foreign
we spend
manufacturers or
$500
US
billion,
manufacturers?
let's do the math really quick. If we had spent $500 billion a day in Iran, how much money would we have spent so far?
1.5 trillion.
Listen, I think you have an issue with math. If we spent $500 billion a day...
What's 500 billion times 30? I think it's 1.5 trillion.
What's the initial start date of this war?
I think we're going on about 30 days now.
No, I think it's past that. This guy's got a major fucking issue with math. So let's say... So we'd be at what if it was 30 days? Okay, 30 days. No, it wasn't 30 days. What was the Iran start date? February 28th. So it's 32 days. So how much would that be?
30 times 500 billion. I'm thinking it's about 1.5 trillion.
Where are you getting 1.5 trillion from?
I'm just trying to do 30 times 500 billion in my head.
How much is 500 billion plus 500 billion?
I guess that would be 1 trillion.
Right. So that would be 2 days. So how are you getting 1.5 trillion?
I guess I didn't carry a decimal.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for calling in. Who did you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
If you recognize that Donald Trump is an Israeli puppet, why are you still supporting him?
Because I think he's better than Kamala.
What didn't you like about Kamala Harris?
She's one of those yellow school buses that would cost a lot of money.
What? Are you alone right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. What didn't you like about Kamala Harris without being ableist?
About the yellow school buses?
No, yeah, without being ableist. What didn't you like about Kamala Harris?
I think she just checked the boxes for a vice president for Biden. And I think the Democrats should have been able to choose who they were going to run against Trump instead of just having Kamala selected for them.
They did choose. Democrats did choose. The delegates gave her the votes.
Yeah, but I think most Democrats would have rather have seen Bernie go against Trump than Kamala.
Bernie wasn't running. She got delegate votes from Democrats. She had locked in a majority of them pretty quickly.
Do you think if they held a primary, the Democrats would have chosen her?
You wouldn't have a primary. It was too late to have a primary. You're talking about a contested convention. Who was opposing her?
I don't know, but when did you think that Biden was no longer capable of being president?
I think he's no less capable of being president than Trump is, as a matter of fact. I don't think he's any less capable than Trump is. What?
Do you think possibly they're both too old and maybe we should have an age limit of about 60 to be the president of the United States?
I would prefer an age limit than an age requirement, yes.
I think you got to be 35 to be president.
I'm
maybe
okay with the president.
On the other end.
I wouldn't prefer someone be 60 years old, but I don't think the cap needs to be 60. I mean, 60 is not that old in 2026. I mean, if someone was super with it and bright, I wouldn't be like, oh, they can't run because they're 60. But 80 is too old, yes. 80 is certainly too old. 60's, I don't know. 60 I'd be okay with. I would prefer that they be younger, but I wouldn't be like crazy opposed to someone totally with it at 60. I mean,
now, if Harris was president and Trump had lost, and intelligence came to her and told her Iran was close to getting a nuke, how do you think she would have handled it?
Well, that's not what happened. So, and they tried. Did Biden take the bait? They wanted Biden to do this too. He didn't do it, though. That's the difference.
Do you think Biden was calling the shots?
One of the first things Biden wanted to do was renegotiate the JCPOA. I mean, it was ridiculous that Trump tore it up without any other agreement anyway. So I think Biden was probably one of the more intelligent people we've ever had in politics, to be quite honest. I just think he was too old, but I don't think he was. I think you guys often exaggerate how out of it he was. especially when you go and then vote for Trump, who says the most ridiculous, outlandish. By the way, Trump falls asleep every day, every single day. Is he capable of being president right now?
I heard he only sleeps about 4 hours a day, and it's
well, whose
all
fault
business
is that?
all the time.
Whose fault is that? He doesn't go to sleep at night. Whose fault is that? He's a grown man. What, does he not know how to go to sleep at night? I've even heard from people that they tried to tell him that he needs to get more than 4 hours of sleep, and he refuses. Whose fault is that? He's the president of the United States.
He's just so driven.
Bullshit.
He cares so much about his brand and his image.
So his drive forces him to stay up in the middle of the night and truth out insults to people. That's what he does.
He's also drinking about 12 Diet Cokes a day.
Well, that's on him. He can do whatever. I mean, I'm not worried about his Diet Coke intake, dude. I'm worried about the fact that he sleeps through cabinet meetings on national television while our adversaries watch from a distance and go, would this be a good time to, I don't know, storm the beaches of Normandy? Sounds outrageous, but I mean, the way things are going, I don't think it's out of the question. We're in our most vulnerable state, really.
Do you think it's safe to have so many illegal immigrants in the U.S. that could be sleeper cell Iranian terrorists?
The sleeper cell narrative is largely a white supremacist talking point, but I will say that I think it's likely when you attack a country unprecedented with no imminent threat that clearly people who are sympathetic to people in that country want to attack you. I don't think there are like sleeper cells waiting for the United States to do things and then attack them, though. There's never been any evidence that that's true. And undocumented immigrants, let me tell you something right now. Undocumented immigrants typically do not commit violent crime. You know that, right?
Yeah, because if they commit a crime, they could get deported.
Well, that's not the only reason, but it's certainly one of them. What difference does it make? Why they don't? Statistically, they commit much less crime than American-born citizens per capita, right?
Right, but if there was no illegal immigrants in the U.S., we wouldn't need ICE on the streets.
So I know ICE pretty well. Spent a lot of time. I was there for the battle for Minneapolis, and I can tell you that ICE is violating the constitutional rights of American citizens on a regular basis. Undocumented immigrants, what is the consequence of undocumented immigrants fiscally?
I think they're net takers.
No.
From the government.
No, they're not. What's their tax?
Most Americans are net takers.
That's nice. What's their tax? You know why you know what the difference is between American citizens and undocumented immigrants? Federally, they don't benefit from those programs that you're talking about that result in the government paying for them. They pay into that system, but they don't take from that system on the level American citizens do. They're largely exempt. Explicitly prohibited.
Would you like to see the number of illegal immigrants double or get cut in half?
No, I don't think it should double. I think that we absolutely have a broken system, but I think that the immigrants that are here, that contribute to our tax system, should be given mass amnesty. I think when you look at, let's strictly talk fiscal contributions. You said they're a net negative. What are their tax contributions?
Most people don't pay much in federal income tax.
Don't worry about American citizens. Undocumented immigrants contribute roughly what?
When they buy stuff, they pay sales tax.
Yeah, okay. So, and then what? Would you be surprised that it's $100 billion?
I could believe they contribute $100 billion.
It's funny. Let me just address something in the chat this Tony USC said. I'm going to dunk on this guy in the chat really quick. Said if they have 5 kids, they do. First of all, you really should read your Constitution, Tony, because children born in the United States by undocumented immigrants are American citizens constitutionally. I don't know if you know that or not, but let me just go a step further in saying every study that tries to present undocumented immigrants as a net negative includes the cost of American-born children to undocumented immigrants without including future tax contributions to offset the fiscal burden. You can't include children without including their future tax contributions. So we're not going to discuss children born to undocumented immigrants because they're not a net negative because they become American tax-paying citizens. So back to the caller. Undocumented immigrants contribute $100 billion in federal, state, and local taxes, okay?
Okay.
$100 billion at a federal, state, and local level. They largely don't take from that system federally. Federal law explicitly prohibits them from using federal benefits, so they're actually subsidizing federal programs. Can you provide me a fiscal number that exceeds $100 billion to prove they're a net negative?
No, but what do you think the main reason Democrats want illegal immigrants in the U.S.?
It's not a matter of wanting illegal immigrants in the United States. It's not even a matter of wanting illegal immigrants in the United States. In fact, I think specifically what I propose is granting mass amnesty to create more American tax-paying citizens, as most of these people are already paying taxes and not committing crime. So there is no real justification for spending American taxpayer dollars to remove them, right? I think criminals should be removed, and then I think once we do that, grant mass amnesty, I think we should work on passing legislation to secure the system. I think it's extremely broken, and I think most Democrats acknowledge it's broken.
Now, when those illegal immigrants are given amnesty, do you think most of them will vote Democrat?
Guy, you're trying to do this like white replacement theory conspiracy, right, is what you're doing. And I think that people who are typically marginalized tend to vote Democrat. So that's just typically, right? Maybe Republicans should stop marginalizing people and they won't vote Democrat, right? Republicans consistently say, we need less brown people here because they end up voting Democrat. Stop marginalizing brown people and maybe they won't vote Democrat. Do you ever think about that? It's almost like it's not easy.
What about allowing more immigrants from the Nordic countries?
I have no problem with immigrants. I think immigrants need to come here legally. I have no problem with them coming here legally. I want them to come here legally. I'm just acknowledging the system is broken. Am I opposed to it? Have I spoken in opposition to it? No, I have not spoken in opposition to it once during the course of this conversation. I said we have a problem. People are here. People are here. They already exist here. They already exist in the United States. How do we solve this problem? Okay, well, they're already here. I think granting mass amnesty and creating more American tax-paying citizens is the solution to this problem.
And once we give them amnesty, should we close the borders?
No. I think we need
to keep the borders open. Anybody can come.
They're not open. They never were open. I don't know what open means. What legislation was passed that opened the borders?
Well, how did 23 million of them get here?
Now it's 23 million, folks. 23 million.
23, 30, 15.
You don't know because 23 is fucking hilarious, by the way. But I'll move on.
Even if it's 3 million, how did 3 million get in if the borders weren't open?
Well, open is you're using a term that is. Oh, he hung up. He hung up. Either he hung up or his phone died. I don't know. The border's not open. There was no legislation passed that opened the border. And by the way, Joe Biden deported more undocumented immigrants than Donald Trump in certain cases. So you might want to look into that. I know this is a narrative. No, 60 is not old. I wouldn't be opposed to someone being president who's 60 years old. I mean, they'd have to be with it. I just think that this country needs someone younger right now to go in that type of direction. So if you guys enjoyed the live, I'd appreciate... Guys, we only have 1 minute left on the gifting goal, and we're not going to finish it. We only have 1 minute left on the gifting goal, and we're not going to finish it.
Bobby B.
Dude, 1 minute left on the gifting goal, and we're fucking going to miss it. We didn't complete one gifting goal. I think I'm going to pop off here. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, man? What you trying to debate about? You talking about the illegals in America? It says it in the Constitution, brother. Illegal means illegal. Nobody's above the law. Democrat, Republican, don't matter. Nobody.
What part of the Constitution is that?
So really, it's just in the Constitution.
Where?
Illegal is illegal. Because that's what it is. You cannot cross a border. Okay? But it's an imaginary line. See, that's the thing. Anybody can just walk across. That's what they could do. It's like nobody's really there to stop them. There was no security. You had no security yet. People just walk across with no papers.
Nayland, thank you so much for the super chat, Nayland. Appreciate you, Nayland. W. Nayland in the chat for the biggest super chat of the evening. Brown-eyed girl, thank you.
Biggest super chat of the evening. That's right, baby. Because Bobby B's over here.
Are you jealous of the super chats?
Hell no, I love it. I'm glad you're getting paper.
So anyway, the point is that what part of the Constitution? All right, what part of the Constitution?
Look, we're not going to.
No one is saying we shouldn't have borders. Nobody's saying we shouldn't have borders.
So what are you trying to say here? Because I heard you say that the people that are here already exist here just out of beers.
Yeah. So I'll explain it. Let me explain.
Hold on a minute. If you go overseas, over to Iran or anywhere, it doesn't matter if we're at war or not. You just don't get to go over there without a passport and stuff.
Hey, real quick, just to enhance this conversation, dude. Just to enhance this conversation, are you on Bluetooth?
No, I'm not on Bluetooth. I've got you. I've got you on speakerphone.
Okay, take me off speaker and put the phone up to your ear so that way it's not cutting out for the chat. Okay, because the chat, the whole reason I'm having these conversations is so the chat can hear. So no one's saying that we should have open borders and let in whoever we want. Obviously, that would be irresponsible to the American. That would be.
That's what's happening. This ain't about
But
Trump
that's not what's happening.
They've been doing it and doing it and doing it. They've been flooding our country for a long time. Just
take yourself off speakerphone, dude.
I'm not. I don't have you on speakerphone.
Okay, well, you keep like sounding muffled. Are you covering the speaker or something?
No, sir. Yeah, I'm not covering the phone.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that no one is advocating for open borders. Clearly, people pay taxes; they deserve.
That's what I'm saying too. But what are you trying to get at? Like we can agree upon that at least. I know that.
I'm trying to.
We can agree that we're not going to have open borders. We don't need it. But that's the thing. It has been open.
No, it has. Okay, what legislation was passed that opened the borders?
Look, when there's an imaginary line, okay, there's an imaginary line that goes across this land, and we call it a border. You can easily, just like you go across state lines, you just go walk straight across it. If there's nobody there to see you out of all this lane, because there's not nobody just patrolling it, okay, all the time, every inch of the damn border. So what you have is just an open border, so people can just walk across it.
So I'm trying to get you to understand this. Biden didn't have open borders.
I don't look.
You gotta let me. You gotta let me finish, dude. I let you finish. Listen, I let you finish. I let you finish. I let you finish. Are you gonna let me finish? I let you finish. No, you need to let me finish. I let you finish. Are you gonna let me finish, Chud?
It's not about what president done it. Okay, it's that they use it. They use it to divide us to say, well, now they're here and we're here. Who are you going to root for? What are you going to do? It's like when we start banding together here and quit pointing fingers and saying this guy did it, that guy did it, this woman did it, who did it? Who's going to stand up and take responsibility for whatever it is? But I did nobody. So nobody's going to stand up and take responsibility, take action, and do the right course. Donald Trump's not going to do it. The next president isn't going to do it. The one after that isn't going to do it.
So
it's the American people that have to stand up. We're looking for a government to do the job that we're supposed to be doing, which is holding these people accountable.
Okay, cool. And you voted for Trump, so it sounds like you're
holding
politics.
No, I did not. I did not.
Who did you vote for?
I actually served I actually served in the military 12 years, did one tour. Proud of it. You know.
Thank you for your service, but who'd you vote for?
Things, man.
I just said, excuse me.
If it ain't about the American people,
if you don't stop talking, I'm gonna have to do something to you. Stop talking.
You know.
All right. Thank you for your service. Calm down.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Okay. But I'm asking you a question. I want you to listen to me. Okay. Biden's I'm just getting you to understand this. The open border thing is a Trump narrative. Biden deported over 6 million people. Okay? Including Title 42. Okay? There was an executive order in June that of his final year in office that shut down asylum when the daily encounters hit 2,500, and then they dropped to COVID levels, built a bunch of border wall using congressional funds. There's a million things I can cite specifically as to why Biden did not have an open border. That being said, we have a broken immigration system that has resulted in a large number of undocumented immigrants present in our country. And so what I do is stop talking. I look at that population of people and I say, are they contributing or are they taking? And when I look at their contributions, they're largely contributing to the system. They pay taxes, they commit very little crime. So why don't we give those productive people, immigrants built this country, okay? Immigrants built this country.
I don't disagree.
Why not give them amnesty? Do you know what amnesty is? Amnesty
I
is just
do know. I was in the military. I know what amnesty is.
Amnesty
They
is
actually have a thing called an amnesty box, man.
It's a pathway to citizenship.
Don't insult the intelligence of one, okay? Like
I didn't insult.
I'm hearing you out. But
listen, troglodyte, I didn't insult your intelligence. I'm simply.
Well, you're like, do you know what amnesty is? Like you're like, I don't know what amnesty is. You know, it's like I get what you're saying.
I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that. I was simply.
It kind of sounded like you did. Say like, do you know what amnesty is?
How would I know that you know what?
Amnesty? Like you're like the rest of the Democrats. You'll say something, and then like everybody hears it, and then you'll turn around and say, I didn't say that. I didn't mean it like that. It's like, well, how did you want me to take it when you said, well, do you know what it is? Like, I'm an idiot.
Do you think I'd be able to know who you are before you even called?
No. It doesn't matter. Like to you, see, like the Democrats, it doesn't matter who you are. It's like they're going to say it, do it, and then they're going to turn it around and make you the bad guy. Like you're that guy. It's like, oh, about these people.
Guy, how would I know who you are before you
it's
call in?
It's not about knowing me, because you look here. I don't even have to know you, but I can just tell. Okay.
Well, you can just tell that you wouldn't say this to my fucking face.
Like you don't
I
know
can
Donald
tell
Trump.
you that. You wouldn't say it to my face. I can tell you that.
Look, I don't know what you're trying to talk about here, dude. Like you're trying to fight. Like, oh my God.
No. You're just a loudmouth.
No. What you're trying to do is do some stat. And like when it come down to Joe Biden, you said he actually sent some back home, 6 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, he knew there was some people sneaking up in here that was wrong. At least 6 million of them was. So at least he thought that was good.
All I'm
Obama
saying,
sent back more than that.
Sir, why don't you listen to my entire take before you judge it so harshly?
Man, I don't. Look, they come over here and they get free health care that the American people pay for.
But let me explain. No, they don't. Okay. That's not true.
Yeah. Look at the ones that are here that are documented. The ones that are here that are documented and here legally, yes, they pay taxes. Yes, they do. And guess who?
All right, cool.
Guess who they don't want?
Perfect. That's fine.
Look at the demographics and see what the Latino population says about the ones that come over here illegal. They want them to go back, but they want them to come here legally just like the rest of us. Get your paperwork and come here. They make the ones that are really here, that are doing good, they make their own culture look bad by coming over here illegally, just regardless. It's like, man, there's a way to do it. There's a process to go through. Their own culture says that. Like, there's a real thing here, but you got to do it the right way, and you can really prosper if you do it the right way. You can't jump corners. You can't blame the presidents. There's a real process they have to go through. Not just the Mexicans, not just whoever comes over here from another country has to go through a process if they want to come here.
Sure. Why don't you listen to what
I'm
not dismissing there should be a process. You got to listen to my take and calm down.
But no, that's the whole geek, brother. I don't know what you're trying to get at about. Let them be here or not let them be here. The ones that are here that are not undocumented. So
no, that's not the way it works.
The ones that are here that are undocumented.
No, that's not how smart people handle situations. That's not how intelligent people govern. Oh, because they're undocumented, they
somebody
should be
a number.
That's not how intelligent people govern,
I have a number, okay? My name is Bobby B, but I actually have a number. The government knows me by a number.
That's nice.
So I got a number.
You want to let me to
These people have to have a number just like me. You can't have taxes if you don't have a number.
I
what number are they going to put down on their Social Security whenever they go? They got to have a Social Security number to file taxes.
Well,
These people come over here
yeah,
don't have a
it's
social
called
security number. They're not even part of the
and they
system.
do have one. It's called an individual taxpayer identification number. It's called yes, it's called an ITIN. It's issued specifically to undocumented immigrants to pay their taxes. You didn't know.
Juan comes over here and he gives his card back to Juan, and Juan has another one.
He didn't
So
know,
they all
folks.
have one.
Guys, he didn't know that they're issued an individual taxpayer identification number, it's called an ITIN, which is why you're crashing out, because you think they're not paying taxes when they contribute $100 billion out of federal. Oh, yes, they are.
Look,
yes,
I don't know what your algorithm.
Provide me one study that indicates they're. All right, watch. Why don't you go to Google.com right now? Why don't you go to Google.com and type it in? Sheffy, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Sheffy. Sheffy, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you ever shut up?
Real much.
Are you married?
It's real much.
Does she ever get a word in
You're
edgewise?
just like the rest of the,
Does your wife
I'm not even
ever
a
get to
Republican.
speak?
I'm just an individual.
Yeah, you are a Republican. You won't shut up.
Crowded ass world of people who are judgmental
You won't
about what
shut
other
up.
people should be doing about
Sheffy, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. Appreciate you, bro. Guys, I would appreciate
money.
Do you ever stop talking?
Check in. We need more.
Do you
We
ever
need some more
stop-
money.
I know you're jealous. Do you ever stop talking?
Hell no, I don't ever stop talking. I'm like Donald Trump. I just keep on and on and on. I'm like
I know,
the
and
Energizer Bunny.
you don't even know they pay. Why don't you Google right now, do undocumented immigrants pay taxes? Can I Google it and read it out loud?
Undocumented immigrants pay taxes.
All right.
If they're undocumented, how do they have the ID number?
It's because they
If they're
apply.
documented,
I'm
they do
going to
get the
explain. Will you shut up and let me
I
explain?
don't need to. I don't. Look, it's
Shut
very
up.
simple. See, that's the thing.
Shut
You guys want to go
up.
through all this explaining.
Shut up. Do you
don't want to
ever
explain
shut
something
up?
that you just don't.
Bro,
you
shut
you,
up.
What is that
Dude,
word?
stop talking. Bro, stop talking. It's called an individual taxpayer identification number.
Yes,
and they
but
apply
then you say
for it.
undocumented immigrants get this
It
number.
doesn't provide them documentation, work status, immigration status. It simply allows them to remain tax compliant. You're wrong. Look it up.
Hey, look here. Hey.
Look
hey,
here,
look here.
nothing,
If-
Muppet.
If all
Look
I
here,
have is just
nothing,
an
Muppet.
ID number. I'm
Look
throwing that
here,
ID
nothing,
number out the window.
Muppet.
I'm not paying taxes at all.
You probably
I'm going
don't
down
pay
at the little healthcare thing with my ID
don't pay
number
your
and
own
get me
taxes. You probably don't pay your own taxes.
I do pay taxes. What you talking about? Hey, hey, look here.
How much did you
That's
pay
one
in
thing I
taxes
do.
last year? How much did you pay in
Hey,
taxes
look, it ain't
last
about
year?
how much money I pay in taxes. I just pay taxes. Don't worry about it. I pay mine.
How much
Ain't
did you pay
ain't
last
nobody
year?
knocking on my door.
Corey,
Huh?
thank you so much, Corey. How much did you pay last year?
Hey, look here. I'm paying just as much as Corey is, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
So you paid
I'm getting just as much as Corey is.
$4.99 in
I probably
taxes?
paid. Yeah, I may have paid less. Yeah, I probably paid less than you. How about that? Like I'm gonna put myself already there. I'm in a lower tax bracket than you. How about that? You feel better about yourself?
Good luck, you nut job.
You know, do you feel?
Jesus. God help us all. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? I've been debating for the last 2 hours straight without any breaks. How's everybody doing? Anyone? Everybody doing good this evening? Let's everybody check in the chat. We should see a few hundred people checking in the chat. I want every single person to check in the chat right now. Has everybody in here subscribed? Have you made sure that you hit the subscribe button? Because a lot of people watch and forget to hit the subscribe button. Can you double check and make sure that you've hit the subscribe button? Look over to the left and see if you've hit the subscribe button. Because something I've noticed is 30% of the people who watch me are not physically subscribed. So look over and see if you've hit the subscribe button. And consider becoming a member of the channel.
Call from
Bobby B.
Listen, Bobby, we're done.
Yes, sir.
I've tried to have a conversation with you. You wouldn't let me speak. I've attempted to have that conversation with you, and you wouldn't let me talk.
All right.
Now,
talk to someone.
you want to? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Undocumented immigrants apply for what's called an individual taxpayer identification number. It's simply to remain tax compliant. It doesn't grant you citizenship status. It doesn't grant you work status. It doesn't grant you anything other than tax compliancy. That's it. Barb, thank you so much, Barb. Appreciate you. That's all it does. It keeps you tax compliant. Okay? So they pay taxes. They contribute $100 billion at a federal, state, and local level. But what's important to remember is they're not taking anything really out of that federal system. They don't use federal benefits. So that money is all going into the system and not coming out. So they're actually subsidizing those programs that American citizens benefit from.
Okay.
All right. Now you can go to bed and you've learned something for the day. Listen, I'm gonna help you.
No. That's the thing. It's like it sounds good, right? It's like in theory, it's like, oh, they're subsidizing it. It's not going nowhere. Look, we're in. You know how many trillions of dollars we're in debt, and you're talking about they got just billions of dollars sitting somewhere compared to the debt that we're in.
I got the perfect song for Billy Guys.
Toilet seats, okay, for the White House. They're building a damn ballroom on, all right? Everybody wants to root Donald Trump. Look, the man tore down part of it. He's building the ballroom. There's no fucking giving up there in goddamn at the White House right now.
I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
I don't know what you guys are arguing about, what, who's going to do what, or who ain't doing what. When we get in, we talk about what,
Friends to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
Really quick, major shout out to Stephanie Pratt with the $20 super chat. Muppet Master Unite. Let's fucking go. And Dory with the $5 super chat. We actually completed a goal tonight. It's the only one we completed. But shout out, Dory, Stephanie Pratt. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bobby, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
All right. Well, Bobby, listen. I appreciate you calling in. I know, I understand you love Trump, and that's wonderful.
No. No, look, it's not that I love Trump.
Do you agree with the war in Iran, Bobby?
Huh? Do I agree with it? With the war? No, I don't.
You got to take me off speaker, Bobby.
Oh, give me just a minute, man, my bad.
Bobby, I can't talk to you from across the hall, okay?
Do I agree with the Iranian war? No, I do not.
Okay. But you still support Trump.
Well, look, man, it's not about supporting Trump. There's some things that Joe Biden did that were good. Some things that he did were bad. Tell me which president ain't that way. Tell me which one after these people that they have now, would the next one come in? They're going to do some things good, some things bad. Some do worse than others. Some are going to do better than others, but they're all racing to do the best, but seem to fail.
The problem is, Bobby, these are line in the sand issues. We're talking about like whether or not Trump has a relationship with the most infamous PDF file in the world, right? Like we're talking about whether or not Trump's going to cause World War III. Like these are very serious situations. Bobby.
They are very serious situations, and that's the thing. Everybody wants to be for somebody, and I'm looking at all of them like, hey, I'm not on their team. I'm not up there like I'm rooting for one of them. No, they're all holding the papers in their hand. They're the ones with their hands in the cookie jar. Every damn one of them got their hands in the cookie jar.
So do you think Trump should be impeached?
No, I believe all of them that's really doing some dirt that's corrupt should be. I think all of them that's corrupt should just, they need to see their day in jail.
So he doesn't think he should be impeached. He disagrees with the Iran war, but he doesn't want him removed.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Okay, look.
You're out of your mind, Bobby.
No.
You're out of your mind.
Are you listening to me, man? Are you listening to me?
Why would I listen to you? You haven't listened to me.
I'm y'all are focusing on one thing. I'm looking at the bigger picture.
Bobby, have you ever been hit with a sock'em bopper?
Hell yeah, I have, man.
Because I would use a sock'em bopper on you.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I would love to do that.
I mean, honestly, I'm honestly pretty sure you're not very strong, right? You're kind of a smaller, weak guy.
Oh, is that what you say? Well, that's what I like. I like people to like underestimate that shit. You know,
no,
like underestimation.
I think you probably
is good. I love the underestimation because then it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, Bubba.
Am I underestimating your intelligence?
Oh no, no. You're underestimating. You're just underestimating me. Period. Just when you're like,
but have
you're
I underestimated your intelligence?
So you're calling yourself no. So you're saying earlier you was you was just put my intelligence. You was earlier, yeah. And I still feel like you are anyway, but really it don't matter. Like, I'll still talk
Bobby,
to you.
do you know who you sound like?
Probably Boomhauer.
No. I got who? Bobby, this is who you sound like.
Who? Hey, replay it.
This is who Bobby sounds like.
Hola. Dale, mi tug doggy.
Well,
Me tug
that's
doggy.
right. Nothing. It's nothing. It's not what I hear
Okay.
coming out of everybody else's mouth. Nothing.
Just have the
Everybody wants to
defense
say something. Ain't got
Name
no
that
reason.
movie in the chat. Name that movie in the chat.
I ain't on the shit.
Lido, man. Now we win a kind of fuck how we go. That we are buco la man.
What movie? Ain't nobody on the shit.
Name that movie in the chat. Who can name that movie in the chat right now? Who knows who that was? All right, Bobby, I gotta go. Take care. Love you.
Oh man, what happened, bro?
Well,
what happened?
You call again in the future, Bobby. We'll have a conversation. Take care. All right, everybody. I have been on here for approaching 3 hours. Waterboy, that's right. You got it. Waterboy, that's it. If you did miss the beginning of the live is going to be available for replay if you do want to watch it. It's close to 3 hours long now. I highly recommend it. It was a pretty good live. Guys, consider becoming a member of the channel. Support the content. You guys, most of you know me from TikTok. Some of you are just on YouTube. But if you guys are not on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok. It's the same name, Adam Cray. I debate on TikTok in the morning. I do political lives in the morning on TikTok. And then I come on YouTube in the evening. We just started YouTube. I'm new to YouTube. We're approaching 20,000 followers over here. We're trying to get to 20,000 on YouTube here. And then hopefully we can steamroll to 100K. But go follow me over on TikTok, everybody, if you're not over there, and make sure you're subscribed over here. I do not need to be live for you to become a member. You can become a member when I'm not live. Go to the front of my page, hit the join button. First of all, make sure you're subscribed. That's free. But then go to the join button and become a member of the channel. A lot of lives are members only and things. There's different perks, your name, and you have a badge next to your name, and it changes colors. I'm about to customize that badge, by the way, too. There's a lot of work I have to do over on this channel. I may even be releasing a shirt strictly for YouTube, so you can get a shirt on YouTube. I talked to someone today about it that might help me do it, because I really can't. It's too much. But if a company wants to help me do it, which they might help me do, then I might have a shirt available in the store on here. There's a lot of work we're trying to get to build up the YouTube over here. So because TikTok can't be the primary platform, it's got too many issues. So we have to have multiple different platforms. All right, everybody, I love you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're actually almost at 18,000 now. We're almost at 18,000 subscribers. We'll be at 18,000 in a couple weeks. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you guys tomorrow on here. TikTok in the morning. I want every single person who's going to be present on TikTok in the morning to announce yourself in the chat. In the chat right now, announce yourself if you're going to be present on TikTok in the morning. Announce yourself if you're going to be present in TikTok in the morning. And I will see you then. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Take care.